Hey, what is up, everybody, and welcome here to the action here today. It is the 10,000 Rand that we've all been talking about for the Vox Cup for Rocket League 2v2. I'm joined by Mike Altruism Urdur, so I've been told. How you doing, Mike?
Oh, I'm excited, man. This is going to be big. We haven't seen a big Rocket League tournament in South Africa, and what a way to come through. Some of the biggest names, some of the biggest prize pools, and you, one of my favorite Rocket League casters to join next to. So it's going to be a great day.
You're too kind, good sir, but I guess what is not going to be kind is the players to one another when it comes down to this match here today. We've got some stellar teams lined up. Just to provide you a little bit of context of what we can look forward to, there's essentially been 256 player bracket. That's 183 registered teams that have or rather, there's 136 participating teams out of those. Unfortunately, load shedding, the gods were not on our side for some of those teams, but what we do have is essentially the culmination of this going in towards the semi-finals for our very first match. And Mike, you were pointing out a couple of these teams. Who do you think we need to be able to keep an eye on?
Oh man, that's the big thing about having so many teams entering into the competition is it opens it up for newer teams to try their luck, see where they rank up against it. But as with always, we get the top of the teams joining here in the semifinals. The first semifinals, of course, going to be Team Esports Gaming versus Darth Snowy Weeb. The names are obviously not as reflective as the normal threes teams that you got, but I'm sure you guys will recognize some of the players coming through there. Darth Snowy Weeb, a reference to CPZ and Mother, very well known. These guys have been there since the beginning of competitive Rocket League in South Africa. They're referencing their teammates from Pirates XD. So that's a team that you've got to understand has got a huge amount of clout behind them in ones, in twos, in threes, whatever format you throw at them, they're going to be able to do it. And then on the other side, you got other players who used to be almost second string players coming through, but after 3 years, 4 years of them playing together, they've got their grand champ rankings, and it's MLGC Atomic versus the Bullies, but the Bullies being made up of Original and Eugen. Those guys all have proven themselves time and time again in any competition that they've entered.
Yeah, and this is the thing. It's like I'm recognizing some names of old, but there's some new ones creeping into the woodworks here today. And just to remind you, 10,000 Rand, that first place prize, going to get 5,000 Rand in cash. Second place, 3,000 Rand. Third place, cool hard 2,000 Rand. But Mike, the one thing I wanted to allude to is that fourth place. That means one team here today is going to be walking home with nothing but some showtime to be able to watch a little bit later.
Man, that's going to be heartbreaking. I mean, 2,000 Rand is bigger than most of the tournaments that you enter these days in any esport. And so the difference between third place and fourth place is significant. I mean, we normally just talk about, first versus second or something like that. But every slot that's still available, those three slots are big. And so one team is going to be heartbroken. They've come out through, like you said, 136 teams. That's a long bracket to be playing through from the beginning to get this close and not get there. And they've had to beat out some big teams as well. I look at the team Meh that's had to drop out now. They got kicked out, and that was Happy Meal and Werty. Those guys are great players in their own right. And so it has not been an easy road to get here. And so to come so far and to only come this far would be heartbreaking for anyone.
Definitely would be heartbreaking, but they've put in a lot of work, and now it's time for those stars to try rise to the top. I'd like to welcome each and every single one of you. You have not missed a second of their action just yet when it comes down to the gameplay. We essentially have 4 matches for you, 2 semi-finals, 1 third and fourth place playoff, and then, of course, the grand final. So, Mike, I know this is going to be the setup essentially for TEG versus DSW. That's what I'm going to be calling them. That's Team Esports Gaming as well as Darth Snowy Weep. And then further from that, predictions going into that game number 1. I think you might be leaning on the DSW side of life.
I don't know if this is just a personal bias of mine, but I played with CPZ's Zebra at the beginning of it. We were teammates at one stage. Subtle flex. There's a reason I went into casting after that stage, is because these guys just kept accelerating throughout their careers. You got Zebra and Mother, both of which I've played with before. And those guys 6 years ago were incredible. Those guys were doing the aerial plays and the redirects and stuff like that 6 years ago. So they've built it up from there. It's not to say that they've got an easy road here to Darfur and Arceon. Going to be testing them, I can imagine. But my first prediction has to go the way of Darth Snowy Weeb. And considering it is a best of 3 here, I would be very, very surprised to see it go 2-0. So probably 2-1 to DSW.
Well, 2-1. We're going to be calling it that, as we're just waiting for the players to be able to join up. The field is essentially ready and waiting for them to be able to get kicked off in on this action. Ladies and gentlemen, you are joining us for the Vox 10,000 Rand up for grabs for cash. There it gets settled here today. Can't wait for this one to be able to jump into it. Now, going into TSG, taking on DSW. That's Team Esports Gaming, taking on Darth Snowy Weeb. Darth Snowy Weeb, I mean, Zebra, Mother, you pointed them out a little bit earlier. Definitely favorites when it comes down to the competition. On the opposite side of things, we've got to die for Skull G and as well as Archeon. Do you see any of them being the first picks for the squads?
You know, Archeon and Skulk G are the only ones left in our top 4 that haven't got that GC ranking. And so either one of them could slot in at this stage. I'm guessing it, well, we do see Skulk G coming into the lobby here. And so probably going to step up into there. I think those two could make the difference here, whichever one comes in, probably Skulk G. That could be a little bit of a hindrance for Team Esports. But at the end of the day, twos is a lot to do with your individual play, but I would say Team Esports Gaming has got a huge amount of cohesion that they can bring together. Whether they can work together to overcome the incredible opportunities that CPZ and Mother are going to create for themselves, and then, you know, if they can do some good dribbles to take out one player or both players on the other side, it opens things up. Tudafo just showing some aerial prowess straight away, trying to dribble that into the back of the net, and it does trickle back down. And so you can see straight away, Team Esports is here to play. They have got mechanical skills. They've got the technical know-how to pull off any plays that they want on their own.
100%, and this is what I love to see, starting off things, going into those aerial plays. But we're going to set the scene here. This is a best out of 3, ladies and gentlemen. At the moment it is 2v2. What would you say is the biggest difference between 2v2 and 3v3, just as a baseline?
It's got to be the fact that your individual plays have so much more impact. When you're trying to dribble in 3v3s, you've got to beat so many people. It's almost impossible for most players to get such a clean dribble all the way down from one side of the field to the other. Here you've got a lot more space to work with. So it's going to be up to making individual plays count. Can you get in that efficiency? And Mother coming through of a regrettable clear from TEG, being able to read it from that bounce off the bottom there. And you see, he places it so perfectly. Both of the defenders from the blue side were there in goals, and still he's able to find that. So that individual play is going to make such a difference.
100%, and these players really going to try keep their mistakes down to a minimum. And at the moment, on the opposite side of things, we've got TEG trying to push forward here on the attack. They went with Skulk, and I believe this is to die for. Let me just make sure. I'm not too sure if we're going to have Archeon join us a little bit later as a potential super sub, but Skulk coming through with a dribble from the aerial side of things, and unfortunately not going to be able to convert.
And that's the thing. Oh, that's an even better play there. Mother having to push that one out, just in such a dangerous position. Now Zebra pushes it towards the end there. And we talk about the fact that maybe Darth or Austin, if he does come in later, don't have the same 1s, 2s, 3s rankings. But when you're still pulling off aerial plays, aerial dribbles like this, you've got a chance. Now it's going to be Zebra making use of that aerial play, just carries it past it. And this is what I was talking about, these individual plays. He beats one player and now it becomes a 2-on-1 instantly. Instead of having someone to back up, maybe one person to go for another challenge and one person to sit in net, you have to make that decision as the last man back. Do you go for a 50-50 challenge at the beginning of the field, which is dangerous when you got someone like Mother as the second person backing up? Or do you just try and pray for a save on the baseline?
100%, and that's where Zebra's so good, even from an attacking perspective. You could see he was filtering his trigger there just exactly when he was going to use his boost. He decides to hold off, so if the player does come off with the 50-50, he's able to come up with a quick reaction and just puts it behind, or rather to the side of him at the last there. But now with 2 minutes and 43 seconds left on the clock, 2-0 currently in favor of DSW. At the moment is on the back side of TEG, who have a little bit of work to do to try force this one out. We jump on board with To Die For, gets this one away. Ooh, it's off the line from Zebra, who comes up with a good save.
And that's the big difference. You asked what the difference is between 2s and 3s is your efficiency of individual plays. Is you can't just throw a ball at the net and then play 1-2 plays. You can't build that pressure as effectively. It comes down to, did you get that execution flawlessly on the one moment that you had? Now we're going to get a chance for the Zebra tries to throw it onto the backboard, looking for his teammate there, but Skulk reading it perfectly. He's got an opportunity now, but cut off in the middle. And so Mother going to be looking to try to take this. And in twos, you cannot afford to throw one person at a pass, one person as a diving 50 into the backboard. You have to be 100% sure it's going to go in because it turns around so quickly. And now we actually see DSW under a lot of pressure. Mother has to make a bit of a save there to try and get it out. And you got to keep possession.
And it's fantastic play, it has to be said, from Zebra as well as Mother on their side of things. Just seemingly both of them in sync. No, not single one of them really doubling up on a ball, making sure that they've got enough room between themselves to be able to rotate. At the moment, it's going to be Zebra on the sideline, waiting for the pass across. Oh, but he goes for the near post and gets the goal.
Oh man, that is cheeky play. He was obviously looking for Mother in the center, realizes he's beaten one, wants to get underneath it and maybe pop it up towards the center, but realizes that the last man back is sitting stationary and actually tilted the wrong way. You know, was trying to cover the pass, and so he goes, oh, you've got that option cleared? Don't worry, I got another one. I'm just going to roll it in your near post, and you never want to see something go near post. In normal soccer, in car soccer, it happens all the time, and it's heartbreaking to see. And with a minute left on the board, this might actually be TEG just having done enough work so far.
Well, TEG from their side of things got a little bit to go at the moment. Team Esports Gaming represented. I'm not too sure if we're going to see a sub from them, but at the moment they seem content to be able to go with their roster. They've got around about 55 seconds to try pull this one back. But Zebra on the other side, I mean, has been looking phenomenal. If we can just bring that up in terms of scoreboard at the moment, it's just quite well and even between the two. I know scoreboard really doesn't make too much of a difference when it comes down to exactly what these players are pulling off here today. But Zebra and Mother, it seems like they share the same hive mind at this point in time.
Oh yeah, no, you can see we've only seen one opportunity there, and that opened up a slight opportunity for TEG to come in. Now we see Skulk coming through here, and this is an opportunity. In fact, bounced off the post to die for there to be able to slot it in. It is 20 seconds left on the board, so probably not going to be the difference. But there are chinks in the armor. It does come through, forcing Mother and Zebra to try and double commit. It doesn't happen often, but you've got to take those opportunities, and it's nice to see that TEG can make it happen when they get a slight opportunity.
And I think you put that perfectly. There are chinks in the armor here when it comes down to this DSW squad, and will this little bit of momentum, knowing that they picked up a goal at the latter stages of game number one, change the dynamic when we go into game number two? At the moment, it looks like Skulk gets and doubles their goal count. So goal difference, if that stands for something, only one separates them. So I think game two is where it's going to be at.
What's nice to see is how they're being able to put these together. There's an opportunity. The first goal came out from a team play where TEG was able to back each other up and then set that goal in between the two of them. The second goal came from an individual play, being able to dribble past both people. In twos, you have to be able to do both. You do not want to rely on both of your members needing to get involved, because then if it's a save, the other team now has a man advantage. You need to be able to rely on the solo play. But having that confidence in your second player to go, I'm going for a risky play. If I can get something 50-50, if I can beat the first person and get a 50 on the second, you have an opportunity. There is no third man back. Let's see if you can put it in the goals.
Well, let's see now if this momentum change happens for them in game number two here. At the moment, it is going to be the team of TEG. That's Team Esports Gaming, currently down 1-0 up against Darth Snowy Weep. That is Zebra as well as Mother. And right now, Skulk's going to be able to kick things off fantastically for this TEG squad.
And there it is. You know, he manages to cut across the field and then gets a 50. That's all you have to be able to do. And with Skulk having such pace behind him, does come through, and Mother, who went for that boost at the beginning there, isn't able to rotate in time. And so 10 seconds in, we've seen a complete change in momentum. DSW has the maturity to be able to reinforce if they need to, but there's the chink. The opportunities are there, and it's got to be a good mental state that TEG is in after finding an opening and now can try and keep on this pressure.
Well, Zebra's out of the game for a second. Oh! My goodness.
Oh, come on.
You dirty, dirty boy. To die for with the plays. Comes with a low slide 360. What? How did he do this? How?
I mean, there we could see it was the rotation came back at the end from DSW. They had a man covering the goals, and so they were able to read through all the aerial plays from TEG in the first game But now DSW TG goes, okay, you can read a normal air dribble. Can you read a bounce? And this is actually going to be a third one coming out. Somehow, TEG looking a little bit outplayed in the first game, suddenly has a 3-goal lead in the first minute.
Reinvigorated is this TEG squad at the moment. To Die For and Skulk, they've seemingly taken up to Super Saiyan level because they are going absolute ham. Maybe it's their fiber connection. Who knows? They could be using Vox as a backbone.
That ping difference, guys. It's not over yet, though. Zebra going to be trying to close down that score line a little bit more. Does very well here. Turns it nicely against the ground. Just slows it down. Pulls it to the corner. And that very aggressive, very optimistic play from Tudafo, not realizing that touch of speed that's going to come out. He tried to dedicate for that boost in the corner and left himself out of position. And again, one mistake from one of your players, not even both your players, one player gets into the wrong place and it could spell disaster for you.
100%. You can't make mistakes in this 2v2 setup at the moment. It's going to be a clearance coming off the line. A little bit of back and forth with Mother and Zebra. Now having to be able to try juggle this position. Mother's caught without any boost to be able to work with. Now Skull tries to burst down on the left-hand side. Will go for the hundreds. Yes, he gets that back up, but it's a good clearance coming in here from DSW.
That clearance is very, very important. You know, you got to be able to clear the ball and stop with good confidence. No, this is bad though. Tudafo actually lets it trickle around the outside. Very lucky escape coming from DSW on that play. And like I say, the clearance is so important. You've got to be able to shut down the attack, but you need to be able to do it in such a way that you don't give up your own positioning. You've got to be able to hit it into a place that you can follow it up, or at least your teammate is there. Now it's going to be Mother. He's trickled back, and Tudafo has an opportunity, doesn't make anything of it.
Mother extremely brave there with the 50-50 going forward. Now Skull's going to try a little bit of a dribble, try past Zebra, but will Zebra be able to get back in time? Does exactly that. But now it's to Die For, edging on the left-hand side. We'll try to chip this one over. Mother will have it covered on the defensive side, so it comes up with the save. And Skulk, actually, it doesn't look like he's going to be using standard vehicle from his side. I mean, do you notice that the strategy over what vehicles are being used in Rocket League overall have changed?
I mean, it always was favored with that Octane. It's standard. And then suddenly the Fennec got released.
Ooh.
Oh, and the Fennec coming through here from Skulk manages to put a 4th goal for the side of TEG. And I don't know if the Fennec is as good as everyone rages it to be. You must see that thing on the trading sites. Everyone wants one. And maybe this is why. Maybe there is a slight advantage. I've never found it personally. And you can see most of the players still favoring that Octane. But credit where credit's due, whether it's Skulk or the Fennec or a combination of both, he knows how to work that car.
100% comes up with a fantastic save there up against Mother's shot. And to Die For now trying to work it up on the right-hand side. Will he be able to chip this one over the top? Mother's seemingly there in reply. Skulk not too far. Oh my god!
Whoa.
Skulky, you absolute beast! As he turns the vehicle, gets the bonnet shot.
How do you even read this off the corner? Mother does a good job to push it to the corner. That's the standard strategy that you got to. The bounce comes out and Zebra isn't in the position. He's not back in the goals to make the save, and he tries to go for the contention. But the bounce coming out there means that from a very difficult angle, Skulk's managing to put that in. So please, no one doubt these guys on their rankings alone. They're doing enough to be able to take out some of the best players in South Africa.
This is unbelievable. At the moment, Mother's working his way up the right-hand side. Now it's going to be a chip over the top. Skulk has looked phenomenal since the second game kicked off. And now on the defensive side, without any boost, he's going to allow it to Die For, who does come up with the clutch stop. Now, however, DSW clearly rattled 5-1.
There's still time.
Yeah.
2 minutes is enough time. They do thankfully also have that 1 game advantage that they can pull into this, and they're going to have to, DSW, going to have to be able to do something quickly with it because, you know, 2 minutes is a good start for it, but it's not enough to make everything happen. And the defensive plays, the fact that TEG are being able to turn defensive reliances where they have to make a play into an opportunity like this. What another opportunity this is. But now they've committed. This is the double commit that we were worried about. You cannot rely on both your players to make a play and then it doesn't work out. Somehow this pops down in front of the blue goal, and DSW throwing away an opportunity to try, and a very valuable, very important opportunity, and they don't make it work just yet.
Yeah, so a little bit rattled is this DSW squad, and Mike, as you put it, they haven't really made the best out of their opportunities just yet in this game, and that's really telling against them, and ever more so in a 2v2 mode. At the moment, Mother's on the defensive side. We'll watch Zebra go over the top of the goal box just to be able to clear that one off. Skulk happy to slow this one down.
Oh yeah, with a minute left on the board and 4 goals, every second is important. You know, when you start forcing people to try and make a goal every 20 seconds, you put a huge task in front of them. And we see Zebra trying for it. You can see that car control gets the dribble going, but not able to find it. It seems like TEG has just read this at every turn.
What is...
Oh, yes.
What?
Flip reset! We get the flip reset goal coming out there. He gets all 4 tires onto the car, onto the ball here, gets it, and then goes for that extra little pop over the top. What a play. We don't see a lot of those things, but they're becoming more prevalent, and what a way to bring it out here in our semifinals to get it to a 6-1. TEG's alive.
Skulk has made a mark on this competition. He's saying, I am here to be able to take the title, and by all means, they come in back from behind. So there's as you mentioned, there's kinks on both of the arm of both of these teams. However, right now, it seems like this TEG lineup is. I don't think they can be stopped if they keep on coming up with plays like Skulk has been coming up with.
You know, the first time 2 teams meet is a little bit of feeling out what the other team can do. And so TEG was relying on stuff like air dribbles to try get it in there. And they went, okay, these guys are good enough. They've got their rotations down. They are going to read our air dribbles. And so we can't use those. And the fact that there's such depth to Skulk, 5 goals. This is coming from the guy we said was the only one not GC out of this top 4 lineup.
Yep.
He's coming through with flip resets against the top 2 players in South Africa, arguably. I mean, in the rankings, you've got CPZ sitting 3rd in the country for absolute ratings on both 2s and 3s.
Yep, and at the moment, when it comes down to what was pulled off there, absolute phenomenal plays. Guys, we don't even have time to be able to think about it. We're jumping straight into game number 3. It's TEG taking on DSW. Now, one game is what splits these teams from getting a guaranteed shot at 3,000 or 5,000 Rand in cash for their first and second place prize, respectively. Oh, we've got the demo coming on Skulk, so a huge opportunity here for the teams to be able to work their way forward.
And you got to think about how high intensity this match is. The fact that the winner of this is guaranteed at least 3,000.
Yeah.
Like that's amazing. The loser of this could effectively go home with nothing. And so that's what's at stake in this game. And so far, both these teams looking dominant in each of their own respective games, but TEG just showing mechanical prowess that maybe DSW just wasn't prepared for.
Well, Skulk now without any boost to be able to work with this should fall in the hands of this DSW team. Tied up at 1 apiece. Ladies and gentlemen, if you just joined us, this is the Vox Rocket League Cup. And we're connected to maybe the first goal, but Zebra comes out with a nail-biting close tip over the bar there just to be able to save that one.
It's not over yet, though. Skulkju's back in. He pops it long and high over the top here. And even though there is a save, it doesn't clear very well. It has to make a second save. Zebra doing well on that. Still has to worry about it. Sadafo going to be taking another shot. This one goes in, and Skulk eventually going to finish out that opportunity. So many saves being required from DSW that they weren't able to alleviate any of this pressure. And eventually, war of attrition. TEG carry on with that momentum.
DSW coming up with some fantastic defensive play, but essentially the relentless storm of TEG kept on knocking at the door. Skulk is going to be able to break the nail biter and essentially give themselves a 1-goal lead in this very, very crucial 3rd game. At the moment, once again, it's going to be TEG trying to push forward. Skulk gets past one. He'll try to chip it over the top. Just like that, they double their lead 2-0 in favor of TEG.
I mean, the fact that he's able to get these ground dribbles, get the air dribbles, such a nice little rotation. That didn't even involve huge mechanical skill. It involved pace. He was able to switch the track so quickly on that he was able to push it forwards. And you got to remember, you're playing against guys who understand this game. I mean, Zebra is part of one of the 4 teams from South Africa to make it through the open qualifiers for the Intel World Open. These guys are looking to be on the biggest international stage that there is. And Skulk is running rings around them.
100%. And at the moment, if you're scouting for players, make sure that you keep an eye on Skulk as well as To Die For, being fantastic throughout this competition. But do not rule out Mother and the expertise of Zebra as well. I think if there's going to be 2 that you can bet on making the comeback, it's them. However, they're going to have to reconsolidate their position here at the moment as another relentless attack comes in from To Die For.
And that relentless attack is a great way to put it because they stay in this orange half. And so far, DSW not being able to even find space to make an opportunity of their own. They can make plays, don't get me wrong, they can. But there's no chance for them as the demo comes out, and on Mother at the end, they're just showing their aggression coming out from TEG. They want to stick around here and not give any chance for the mechanical plays of Mother and Zebra to come through. Mother and Zebra do get a chance now, flicks it in, but to die for a brilliant over-the-top save.
Yeah, to die for coming up with the clutch save there. However, Zebra's on the other side of things, comes up with a 50-50 going in their momentum favor. However, it does fall into the possession of to die for. And it doesn't look like that chip over the top is going to elude Mother too quickly. Now Zebra on the attack. Will he be able to convert? No, Skulk is there yet again. 2 minutes is all that remains for game number 3.
And yet again, it's TEG coming through with an attack. A nice passing play off the wall there from Skulk. This time, not going for it himself. Instead, finds his teammates. Doesn't manage to execute it at the end there, but it's constantly ticking down this time. Just between their passing plays, between their individual plays, the tendency of them to go up on the wall and make it so difficult for the defenders to challenge at any stage before it's too dangerous.
Ooh.
And now Skulk gets the demo, gets the shot in. 3 goals for the side of TEG.
He essentially demos Mother there, says, get out of my way, I've got a goal to score, finishes that one up, and now 3-0 with 1 minute 36 left. Do you think DSW have a chance?
Not at the way that they're currently playing. Not at the pace that TEG is putting in here and the pressure that they're constantly going on. DSW can pull off this scoreline and as a comeback against most teams if they get possession of the ball, and they've just got nothing. Mother's got no touch on the ball. Now he has to try go for a 50, doesn't get anything on it. It's up to Zebra to make a 50% pass, not getting the clear, and so they can't even launch an offensive. Mother gets a touch on it, but doesn't have the boost to do anything with it.
Tries to put this one across the front of the goal box, will try to parry his way out the way, but no, the 50-50 goes in favor of Skulk, and as you pointed out, a goal.
Oh man, again, there's no build-up play coming out from DSW, and it's not because they can't do it. It's because it's being shut down instantly. TEG is everywhere. They're on the backboard, they're in the air. You want to try anything? Bring it at you. We're going to throw our first person at it, and the second person is so quick to the ball that they're able to then turn any 50-50 into not just a clear, but a scoring opportunity.
And right now, phenomenal performance. 4 goals all coming in the back pocket of Skulk. He trips a one over the first player and now tries to move his way towards the second. Seems like he's got a second ahead of the opposition at this point because he seems to predict every single play. At the moment, to die for comes up with the goal, one of his own. He says, you know what, if you're going to score all of them, I also want to grab one for myself, please.
Man, Tudafo did all the work there. He beat both the players. And like you say, he had a second to think about that before each of them. He goes, right, this person's committing to the tackle. 3, 2, and jump. And then he gets it over them. He was unfortunate to not get that on his own, but being able to just come back. Now his Mother actually has an opportunity. Nope. Again, TEG has this red. 30 seconds left on the board. And DSW completely outclassed in these last 2 games.
Mother with a save of all saves there at the last second. Maybe it's a little bit of a consolation save, it has to be said, as the time ticks away. It's only 15 seconds is all that remains for this game number 3. At this point in time, I'm pretty comfortable to be able to say TEG are going to be progressing to the finals, where they're going to be standing the chance to be able to win either 5,000 or 3,000 Rand. Either way, you're a winner.
There's a good amount of work for 15 minutes of hard work. And I got to say, DSW, unfortunately around here in Durban, stands for Durban Solid Waste, and kind of fitting considering how much TEG's just dumped on them.
GG's and well done, it has to be said, across to the squad coming in from TEG. Ladies and gentlemen, that was game number 1. We've got another game right after this. It's going to be MLGC taking on Bullies. Should be a good one to be able to watch. So we're going to cross over to a short break. We'll be back with game number 2, or match number 2 rather, in around about 10 minutes. See you in a bit.
You finally upgraded your life to fiber, and you're downloading and streaming like a pro. Great job keeping up with the Jansens. But you're probably just on the tip of the iceberg, and we're here to tell you that fiber isn't just a faster new line speed, it's a whole new world. In this world, you monitor whatever you like, protect the things you love, and achieve a lot more. And isn't that what you'd expect from South Africa's most holistic ISP? Our home, our castle, all the things we value and have worked so hard for are safely nestled within its walls. We do everything we can to protect those things physically: locks, intrusion detection, alarms, high walls, and gates. But are we doing enough digitally? We would like to help you do more. Every device that allows us to work and play from home, laptops, phones, tablets, is a doorway to education, enlightenment, and entertainment. But those doors swing both ways, and predators, scammers, and malware all have 24-hour access to our lives through them. We can help you put the locks back on all the doors. Why not let us enable your own family VPN while we're at it? This will send critical data, emails, and messages through an encrypted, safe private tunnel, so you can be sure no one's listening in. Know where the kids are? Know what they're looking at online and for how long? We can help you with all of these with device location trackers, customizable content filters, and screen time limiters, all controlled by you, the sensible adult. Unwelcome intrusion, activity trackers, spyware, and even webcam spies. Happens much more often than you think, with devastating and embarrassing consequences. With intrusion and spy detection, we can make sure it doesn't happen to you. That site you're about to give your credit card details to, are you sure it's the right one? Super sure? We can ensure your browsers are protected browsers with check site legitimacy and use bank-grade encryption to protect transactions and personal details. Smart, safe passwords are essential, and we can help manage those, recommend stronger, less guessable ones, and remember them for you. Security, privacy, safety, and simplicity. These are the end results of Vox Total Home Security Solution. It's easy, and for a family of 5, it's the price of a small pizza. It's a dangerous world out there. We know it, and so do you. So we'd like to help you make sure it stays out there, so everything in here stays happy, healthy, and harm-free. Fiber. Fiber is the way we watch HD movies without the buffering, game without the lag, work without the office, and download pretty much whatever we want. It's how we get smart homes, safe spaces, and smooth calling. It's how we live our best lives. Fiber is a whole new world. It's fast, really fast, and it can grow as your needs do. Check if your area is covered, and let us open up that door for you. You finally upgraded your life to fiber, and you're downloading and streaming like a pro. Great job keeping up with the Janssens. But you're probably just on the tip of the iceberg, and we're here to tell you that fiber isn't just a faster new line speed, it's a whole new world. In this world, you monitor whatever you like, protect the things you love, and achieve a lot more. And isn't that what you'd expect from South Africa's most holistic ISP? home, our castle. All the things we value and have worked so hard for are safely nestled within its walls. We do everything we can to protect those things physically: locks, intrusion detection, alarms, high walls, and gates. But are we doing enough digitally? We would like to help you do more. Every device that allows us to work and play from home, laptops, phones, tablets, is a doorway to education, enlightenment, and entertainment. But those doors swing both ways, and predators, scammers, and malware all have 24-hour access to our lives through them. We can help you put the locks back on all the doors. Why not let us enable your own family VPN while we're at it? This will send critical data, emails, and messages through an encrypted, safe private tunnel, so you can be sure no one's listening in. Know where the kids are? Know what they're looking at online and for how long? We can help you with all of these with device location trackers, customizable content filters, and screen time limiters, all controlled by you, the sensible adult. Unwelcome intrusion, activity trackers, spyware, and even webcam spies. Happens much more often than you think, with devastating and embarrassing consequences. With intrusion and spy detection, we can make sure it doesn't happen to you. That site you're about to give your credit card details to, are you sure it's the right one? Super sure? We can ensure your browsers are protected browsers with check site legitimacy and use bank-grade encryption to protect transactions and personal details. Smart, safe passwords are essential, and we can help manage those, recommend stronger, less guessable ones, and remember them for you. Security, privacy, safety, and simplicity. These are the end results of Vox Total Home Security Solution. It's easy, and for a family of 5, it's the price of a small pizza. It's a dangerous world out there. We know it, and so do you. So we'd like to help you make sure it stays out there, so everything in here stays happy, healthy, and harm-free.
Hey there, everybody, and welcome back to the action here. I'm joined by Mike Altruism Urder. How are you doing, Mike, after that game number 1?
I'm blown away, I must admit. I haven't seen some of these teams or some of these players in a couple of months, and the difference from what we saw this time last year to now has blown me away. The mechanical skill that players are coming up with in any rank, the pressure that teams are able to put on, the speed of that game. Felt like you and I were just sitting back gawking at the level of Rocket League that we got to see there, and it makes me astounded. That was a semifinals. That wasn't a grand finals.
Yep.
That wasn't like the top 2 teams unanimously decided with the best players. These were guys just coming through in a fun tournament going, watch this, and then pulling it off flawlessly.
100%, and giving us something to be able to spectate that is, to be honest, jaw-dropping at times. I don't even know how much time these players dedicate to be able to come up with these mechanical skills. But one thing that I've got to say is that kicking this one off, we got another semi-final to be able to watch, and that's going to be MLGC Atomic taking on the Bullies. Now, Bullies coming from an interesting background. I mean, taking on the team that when we were pointing out the bracket, we had a discussion before this all went down, going, team to watch out for is the Meh gaming team. And you in particular thought that they would be the ones taking the title. However, Bullies took them out a little bit early on in the tournament.
You know, Meh, again, the one thing that I've been keeping track of recently is this Intel World Open. We had the African qualifiers. Meh is one of the 4 teams from South Africa that qualified through it, proving that they are some of the best teams in Africa, not just South Africa, Africa. And so the fact that they got knocked out in the beginning here, I'm just going, we've already lost half of those Intel World guys that managed to qualify, and they didn't make it to. On the other hand, MLGC are one of the other teams that have qualified. And so them being in the semifinals just makes me go, there are still so many good players left here that it's not surprising. We had to eventually start taking out some of the great players. And now we've got 2 left, plus the greats team that just qualified for the top spot for that finals.
Yeah, and right now we have quite the match ahead of us. So MLGC, is there anybody that you think will stand out as the same kind of thing for Bullies? I know you were mentioning a couple of their players early on.
You know, when it comes to MLGC, we're looking at WeCasper, Lucid, and Yopego. We're not sure exactly which ones are coming out. Theoretically, Yopego is listed as their sub, but WeCasper and Yopego work together so often that I wouldn't be surprised to see them pulling Yopego into this one. It's not to say Lucid's bad. I mean, I'm not prepared to say anyone's bad at this stage. Everyone here has much more skill than I've ever had in the Rocket League scene. And so any one of the 3 or any 2 of the 3 could come through. Definitely a strong team to watch out for. But Original and Eugen also having proven themselves through consistent good practice. Eugen listed as one of the top 10 players on Rocket League Tracker coming into this, has the GC rating. It's going to come down to performance on today rather than their history, I think.
100%, and performance today is going to have to stand true. When it comes down to 2v2, we keep on alluding to it. It's really, you make that one mistake, you're going to be at the throat of your goal line trying to defend with one of your players there. And if, to be honest, if you get 2v1, you might be stuck in a position where you're conceding a goal early. And I just love the swings of this competition. To be honest, yes, the finals are exciting, but so are the 3rd and 4th place playoff. If it comes down to that, there's essentially another 2,000 Rand up for grabs in that one. It almost seems like I feel sad for whoever comes 4th place in this, and that's either going to be between DSW and whoever loses in this game. So much of the story yet to be told. I can't wait, but I also want to find out your thoughts and predictions in the chat. We've got MLGC taking on Bullies. Who do you think is going to be able to come out on top? Make sure that you let us know, as well as if you're watching on the Vox YouTube channel or if you're watching on ACGL channel, make sure you drop a like and a subscribe wherever you are. Ladies and gentlemen, this is game number 2, and I'm joined by the delightful man himself, Mr. Mike Altruism Woodard. So, Mike, Rocket League, how much are you loving that at the moment when it comes down to the scene?
Oh man, this is big. You know, for too many years, I felt that the South African scene specifically was dominated by 1 or 2 teams at the very top of the leaderboards. You know, people were worried about entering tournaments because there was such a difference between the top players and the next, you know, positions 4, 5, 6 kind of thing. It was almost a case of, why do we even bother entering into tournaments? Or like the first 2 slots were taken up and then everyone was playing for a 3rd prize. And so the tournament prize pool became effectively much less. Now it really is anyone's game. I mean, we've seen Meh go out. They don't get any prize pool. Whoever comes 4th doesn't get any prize pool. But the teams fighting it out for the top 3, they could literally be anyone, and these are players who were considered 2 years ago to be part of that runner-up brackets that you would consider, and I think that's gone. I think that the South African Rocket League scene is at a better place now, simply because of the passion of the individual players, and a big shout out to everyone who spends 6, 7, 8 hours a week training these mechanics, because that's the only way that you start pulling off air dribbles and flip resets and all the other fantastic things that we've gotten to see so far in one game today. I mean, those skills, come from pure dedication, and a big shout out to everyone who can start doing those.
100%. And I've got to say that I really do think that the free-to-play aspect of Rocket League has changed the scene fundamentally. It's made so many more players get involved. But for right now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to jump off into this game number 1 between MLGC and Bullies. It is the second match of the day. It is the semi-finals. And right now, we're going to be able to see who is going to be able to come out on top. Right now, I don't want to make any predictions, but I'll leave that to the brave folks at home in chat.
Oh yeah, I'm not making predictions for this one. I was so wrong in that first one. It did come down to a 2-1, but went the other way from what I was expecting. So not too far. I thought it was going to be a close competition. In this one, it is interesting to see. It is going to be Yopego taking that second slot. Lucid going to be taking the bench for this one. And I think it's just because these guys have seen the level of competition that they're up against. They got to field their top team, and when you've got the synergy coming out from these two, and they're going to try and make an option of it here in the first minute, try and put some pressure on here. Casper going up for 50-50, and still Bully's not ready to sit this down yet. Original and Eugen going to be coming through here to try to take it out, and Yopego going to have to make something of it. Does not manage to get it fast enough towards the goals, and still after the first minute, frantic action but no goals.
No goals just yet as we jump on board with Casper, who's trying to be able to work his way forward at the moment. I do apologize for the camera in terms of observer there, but just for a second. We should have that all sorted out. Currently on board with Casper, trying to make his way towards opposition goal, but it's going to be done by Goat from far downtown as he converts this one over. Not bad in terms of a solo peg from quite the distance.
I like this heads-up play there. You know, everyone tends to get past the halfway and then think about how they want to approach the goals, and then they try and pull out some fantastic air dribble play or some pinch play or something like that. There he realized the defender from Bullies was just a little far up and decides to send a banger of a shot. Credit where credit's due. That was a great shot to go for that, and sends it over his head with such pace that it ends up meaning that he doesn't have to worry about it. Now we see a Rule 1 being broken there on the defense, having to come through there, and Eugen ends up pushing it back towards his own goal. But is that like a 5-goal penalty in the South African scene? It seems to be, when the two players just, you don't respect Rule 1, and so you lose the match instantly.
All important number Rule 1. The disrespect has been shown here today, ladies and gentlemen, as at the moment it's going to be Casper trying to chip this one over the top. Oh, goal line clearance coming in there from Original. Good enough to be able to clear that one off. Ladies and gentlemen, I just need to make sure that we're on auto director so we can get that one across and make sure that we get the best angles possible. Casper now on the defensive side of things. Will he be able to get this one cleared off the line? Does exactly that.
Reads it very nicely, being able to go up onto the backboard. Then, okay, that was not a goal I expected to go in. There was an orange player back here just bouncing off the sidewall, bouncing up and over. Yopego gets another touch, and Eugen not being able to track that one down, misses that first bounce and allows Yopego to get up and over the top. So MLGC taking a nice early lead, at least. I certainly don't want to say victory, because still plenty of time for this to turn around, and the players from Bullies can certainly do that.
100%. This one really can go either way. Bullies definitely a team that we need to keep an eye on, especially considering their track record in this tournament thus far. As we jump on board with Goat at the moment, I mean, I haven't seen these players, to be honest, in my history of Rocket League too much. It's the old guard that seemingly has been renewed, and this is what I gotta say I love about this competitive scene at the moment. Ooh!
Yopego coming through with the hat-trick there at the end, managing to read this off, and it was just Bullies not being able to make that clear that we talked about. It was something that we saw in that last game where DSW was not able to get that pressure off themselves and turn it around for their own opportunities, and MLGC playing so quickly, the synergy between the two of these guys means that whenever it pops out into an open and there's a chance for them, they're going to be on it.
100%, and as it does look like on the attack at the moment, it's going to be MLGC yet again.
I thought that demo was the other way, and I thought that there was another opportunity for MLGC, and now they're going to have to do some work. A very long chip shot coming in over the top there from Bullies, maybe wanting to get a little bit closer and control that down. Still trying to make something work here. Does go the other way, and it's going to be Yopego again looking to extend that point score for himself, and decides to leave this one. Just consistently, you got to worry about MLGC being able to turn it all the way around the pitch so quickly. And now Yopego's up again, going to try and read it from the backboard, but cleared away very, very well by Original.
Yeah, it's really well cleared there. At the moment, only 100 and what is that? maybe 110 seconds. Quick maths. You're the scientist. You know this better
60
than I do.
seconds a minute, my friend. 60 seconds. So 80 seconds in total.
There we go.
Coming out left on the board. And still, it's enough time. Yopego going to be carrying on with this dominating streak. Wants to get that 4th goal and does so beautifully upside down off there. Comes off the corner and then just reads and goes, oh, it's close enough to the orange net. Let's go for this. Let's try it out. And makes it work.
Definitely does make it work at the moment. MLGC making clean work of the Bullies, and it's going to be down to the Bullies to really be able to turn this one on its head. However, I mean, if you've been following from semi-final number 1, that would definitely be no surprise to us, because if anything, we see those who dominate game number 1. It's not necessarily the same story for number 2. However, coming off of the defensive line, it's going to be Bullies trying to work their way forward, and it's going to be Yopego that has a little bit of work to do on the defensive side, with Casper being able to come up with the clearance.
You know, the clearance are good, and it's nice to see Bullies putting in some offensive opportunities of their own and slowing it down towards their side. It's how well they can get out of these corners, and when you pop it up like that, Yopego again taking a shot, this one bouncing harmlessly off the crossbar. But when I say harmlessly, I mean from the scoreline. In terms of psychology, you sit and look at that and go, okay, that was tough, and now is another opportunity. Yopego comes up so quickly, gets such a hard shot down to the other side of the field. Guys, that's the difference between hitting it on your bumper and hitting it on your wheels.
100% at the moment. Does peg this one over the top, and the defensive flares of this Bullies team unable to be able to come up with the cutoff. And now 5-0, making quite a statement, aren't they, for this game number 1?
It's the momentum. If you've got that momentum on your side and you can keep going with the pressure, you're going to be setting yourselves up very nicely. Now trying for the flip reset as Eugen off the ceiling there. Doesn't manage to get the second touch. Still, Bullies in with an opportunity, wanting to get that extra goal. Not going to be able to do it. Just going to take it down to their side. Flips over the top. Yopego, is he going to make it 6? The flashing ball denies him as that was trickling in, but Yopego, 5 goals to secure that. Reed Gasper didn't come out to score, but was valuable in the back line there. Just it seemed like he did nothing, because Yopego was just like, I got every one of these. Don't worry, my friend. You take a seat. You can come through in the next game and carry it. And like you said, though, just because you win the first game doesn't mean that you've got the series. It is a best of 3, so it's a nice first point to have. But the reverse sweep is always possible.
Reverse sweep is definitely a possibility here. However, I also want to find out from the chat, do you guys think that they can come up with it in this game number 2? Do the Bullies have what it takes? It's MLGC taking on Bullies. And listen, I really don't want to pick this one either way. I feel too scared, too timid at this point to be able to call it in anybody's favor. But it does look like off the gate, it's going to be Yopego coming up with the defensive prowess there just to be able to hold on tight. And it does look like Original trying to work this one off the line with Eugen. And oh, the demo comes up from Wee Casper, marks his territory for game number 2.
Oh yeah, demos are such a good reflection of the mental state of a team. If you're going for something like that, it creates this essence of panic in the last person back or the person trying to respawn. And it does give an opportunity, at least, if nothing else, for the attacking team to try and make something happen with it for 3 seconds. Now we see Eugen. He's going to pop it over the top. He's beaten 1. We've got Original coming through and manages to clean up that pass. Great team play between the two of them. And like we said, that does, just because you lost the first game 5-0, it starts from scratch, and now an opportunity for Bullies to try and level out the series.
Absolutely. First goal in the series for Bullies. Will this be the switch on for momentum that they need? Let's kick off as we go into this game number 2 yet again. 4 minutes, 20 seconds left in the clock. And it's going to be Yopego trying to rise up high, comes up with a chip, and Eugen left to be a spectator.
Oh man, he just dropped that down underneath the opponents there. And again, just that clear. If it's not perfect every time, Original was up to that ball. He had the straight shot beaten, but Yopego being able to rotate that car however he wants, puts it in where he needs to. And a soft trickling shot, all to be said, is still good enough when you get it in the right place.
Does definitely get it in the right place, but now Bullies trying to work their way forward on the attack. Eugen goes for the 50-50, misses out, and he's got a lot of area to be able to backtrack. Wee Casper rises up on the right-hand side. Oh, that one gets clipped away, and right now it's going to be Yopego that needs to come out defensively. Bullies take their lead right back as they pick it up to 2-1.
You know, there was obviously the confidence from MLGC. They realized Eugen was out of position, and so they tried to push that attack very far forward. And the pass across the field was good, but when it is not picked up, it means Eugen on that rotation back actually has a little bit more distance on MLGC, and so he's able to pick it up. And after MLGC managed to level out that scoreline, they're able to get the scoreline back towards them. One goal being the difference between these two teams, and I definitely think we're going to be seeing a lot more from them as they try and get it. You know, every one of these opportunities, we could see another 5 goals, and we could see another 1 goal. I don't think it matters, to be honest. At the end of the day, it's just who gets it in that final 5 seconds.
100%. And I mean, it's so unforgiving at the moment in terms of either one of these teams. I mean, we've seen momentum shift in both of their favors. For right now, it's only a goal that separates them, much closer than our game number 1, as Original seemingly in the second game has been fantastic at predicting his opposition play. And as you alluded to in that very first semi-final, you're talking about how a lot of these teams use that game number 1 just to be able to see what are their opposition doing, what is their play style. And for right now, it does look like the Bullies get fortunate as that one blasts over the bar.
Man, Yopego has been so aggressive on this. He always comes up and he goes, right, you guys make 100% perfect clear, or I'm going to try and make something happen out of this. And we see Yopego even trying to set up for, I don't know if that was a 50-50 air dribble that he was trying to pinch past it, or if he was trying to go for the flip reset and then the musty flick or something like that. I don't even know how to predict these guys' shots anymore. Now we, Casper, going to be taking a shot towards the goal and a little bit of lucky. There was someone back from Bullies, but MLGC not finding the back of the net as cleanly as they did in the first game. And so far, it has meant that they are still on that defensive. They are still a goal down, but this could turn at any stage. This could be it. The redirect from Yopego just going wide there, but reading such a nice pass. Again, the synergy between these two could prove to be what they need in this competition.
Synergy, the key factor as this one gets put over the top. Original's going to have to dive back at the moment. It's going to be Yopego trying to get that one over, however, does get blocked out. Casper chips this one into the air for his teammates, says, Yopego, rise up! But guess who's there? It's Eugen! As he gets a goal, and that doubles the lead for the Bullies team.
Oh man, MLGC, you can see the clear mentality of what they're trying to do, that passing play, and they're so used to threes where that works beautifully. You know, that is one of the most powerful threes techniques that you can do, is get the pass to your opponent, your teammate, and then they put a banging shot down to the other side. But read beautifully by Eugen, even as the last man back realizes he cannot afford to give them the space to work with these combos together. Instead, has to come up a little bit more, reads the 50-50, and it goes fortuitously towards that goal line. And so Bullies have the opportunities, and it seems like they're not over just yet. We see Eugen coming through. He gets there so fast in the air, just beating out MLGC, taking them by surprise on his pace, and being able to sit in a 4th goal for Bullies.
4th goal for Bullies indeed. Fantastic performance from them thus far, and really turning this series on its head. We were thinking, I mean, behind the scenes, I think if you and I were sitting right next to each other, we'd be like, I think this might be a run over from MLG. However, on the other side of things, Bullies have taken off and built momentum in their favor. Now it's MLG with everything to prove. And it's going to be Yopi who tries to chip this one over the top. Does so well to be able to keep that one in, and he puts a goal on the board for the squad.
Oh man, I can't believe that both of the players from Bullies went up for this one. Obviously that first shot very important, and then a slight misread off the backboard there means that MLGC creaks open that door just a little bit more. When you're sitting at a minute 20 left on the board, 80 seconds to most of us, 120 if you are Nick. But it's when you start needing to be making these plays, you don't want to be sitting with 3 or 4 goals that you need to get in the last minutes. And 2 goals, though, always viable.
The score currently is 6-12 on the scorecard. As at the moment, it's going to be Yopego trying to come up with the defensive plays. Math's clearly not a strong point at the moment, and as it does look like Yopego will be able to chip this one up towards the corner. Casper, a little bit of work to do. They've got some time here, does the MLGC squad, and it's going to be Casper over the top and gets it down to 4-3 with 43 seconds on the clock. It's 3-4, 3-4.
I love that. Casper just having the heads-up play to jump over the demo, being able to turn around, and then realizing, okay, one of their players is out of position. The second one's sitting very patiently on the goal line. I've got the seconds that I need to. Didn't have a lot of boost, and so I had to time it and plan that out perfectly, and then executes it flawlessly to be able to get that 1 goal difference between the two of them. Now a little bit of consternation coming out between the two of them, and that clash in front of the goals opens up the space for Original, and he's going, you guys managed to fight back a lot, but you've still got work to do. He has even more work as we go into the final 30 seconds. 2-goal lead. That could be what Bullies needed to level this out.
How important was that, just to be able to give themselves a little bit of a breather? I was going to ask the question, Do you go for the goal? Do you play more defensively when you're just one goal away and 30 seconds is all that remains? At the moment, the Bullies decide to go offensively. They build themselves up a little bit of time. And Original now flying, darting through the air. Casper has a little bit of work to do in the corner. However, MLGC, every second that counts down is feeling like it's going too quickly, whereas on the opposite side, it feels like an eternity for the Bullies. With 7 seconds remaining, will they be able to put this one in the post to make it a last-second bridge gap? No.
Nope. You know, you talk about this, Bullies managing to level this out, and I love that aggressive play. They didn't actually need that last goal, but when you can get a buzzer beater a minute and a half if you really try hard enough. I mean, I've seen Reddit clips of guys going like 3 minutes into overtime, and they still pull it off. You know, when I say overtime, I mean with that ball not touching the ground, being able to turn around. 2 goals is so great, and being able to realize we got to play whatever's necessary at the time. They don't go, okay, we've got a 1 goal, let's just try and hold on to this, and then giving away at the final seconds. They go, oh, we got an opportunity now, let's make it happen. If they don't score that goal, that's fine. They haven't wasted an opportunity. You're not giving away a counter goal. But the fact that they managed to do it puts all the pressure around the other way. And still, the first semifinals, the team who won the first game dominantly ended up losing the series. Now the first game in this one, dominating, and then a turnaround game. This is anyone's. Bullies versus MLGC Atomic. If you in chat are making your predictions, you are braver than I. And let's see if you were anywhere close to this. I'm sure people have already lost this where they're going, oh no, MLGC's got this 2-0. Some people are getting cut out straight away.
Yeah, I mean, for right now, is this the series of the reverse sweep time and time again? We're going to have to wait and see. Eugen now on the defensive side of things as Casper has some work of his own. Chips this one across. It's a 1v1 versus Eugen. Who's going to be able to attack the ball? He puts it in the top corner. Eugen seemingly a bit static there.
And again, Casper just showing such intelligent play. You know, everyone, when they're trying to play this and they're learning the game for the first time, they're like, okay, I need to go towards the opposition goals every time that I touch the ball. Here he puts it exactly sideways, realizing that self-pass off the walls is going to be so pivotal. Picks it up, and again, Eugen's left in the goals, having to try and make a decision. Casper just lines it up perfectly, gets the shot in, and MLGC open up the score bank.
Yeah, it's fantastic to be able to see at the moment Original trying to defend this one off the line. The Bullies currently 1-0 down. It is the last match or last round for them to be able to strike back. And what a difference does it make? You're fighting in the 3rd versus 4th place playoff for $2,000. Whereas if you make it into the finals, you guarantee yourself 3,000 or 5,000 Rand in cash, just depending if you finish 1st or 2nd respectively. At the moment, it is going to be Original with an opportunity here. Tries to chip this one over the top, does exactly that, and gets a goal for the Bullies.
He did not have a whole lot of time to make that work, and he didn't have a whole lot of control on this. He picks it up now after that first bounce, and then most people are going to flick it up and over the goals at that stage. They go, okay, I've got one chance to touch this ball. I'm just going to jump into this, and they mistime it by a fraction of a second. Original with the most delicate touch that you can take. You know, there's such a small margin for if I don't do enough, it goes straight into the defender. If I do too much, it goes over the top and effectively turns this into a counter attack for them. Does it, manages to get it out there, and now levels out the scoreline. This is going to go all the way to the wire. I cannot believe this is, again, just a semi-finals.
Yeah, at the moment, when it comes down to the semi-finals, very, very tricky for them to be able to try and manage this one. Oh, Eugen comes up with a fantastic 50-50, and that is going to be Bullies taking the lead for the very first time in this game number 3. And to be honest, the last time that we saw this, they ran away with it. However, this is going to be where does the team dig deep? What is that big match temperament going to be from the MLGC squad?
Man, I'm amazed at the choices that these players are making so quickly, because they're, you know, when you're playing against bots or something like that, you've got such a long time, or playing against slightly lower ranked oppositions, you've got all the time in the world to make these decisions. Eugen decides to actually keep pumping his boost off the wall there. Most people are going to let it bounce and then try and make a counter attack as it comes off the ground. Still, Casper now trying to find something, gets a great position on that shot and gets the demo. This could be an opportunity for MLGC. Gets the second demo, in fact, to carry this on. But Eugen doing so much work as he pushes forwards means that manages to even bump Casper out the way. Such aggressive play coming out from Bullies to be able to carry on going here.
Love that from Eugen. Takes the unconventional path and just blocks his opposition from being able to move forward, essentially using himself as a stopgap between them and their wheels. as we Casper might rise up. No, it doesn't look like we're going to have too much juggling going forward as we Casper finally puts this one towards the opposite side. Yopi Goat forced to work defensively.
And it's this idea of being able to keep possession. You cannot afford to throw it away for nothing at any stage. And if you can't get control of the ball, then you've got to get control of your opponents. That nice bit of aerial dribble attempt coming out from Weecast, but deflected away very well from Bullies to be able to relieve that pressure on them. And now Yopego actually stuck in a bad position. He is having to come back for that 100 boost, but he's going to be too late and watches helplessly as Eugen picks up control and pulls a 2-goal advantage for his side on Bullies.
Yeah, 2-goal advantage indeed. Quite a bit of work for them to be able to do here now for this MLGC. And the trend remains. The reverse sweep seems to be the way to go about things. And MLGC from their side, who knows if they're going to be able to stand the test of this time right now. Up on the defensive side of things, Casper comes up with a goal line clearance. But relentless attack coming in from the Bullies.
Oh, and they tried there. Original set himself in a good position, but that ball bouncing a little bit faster than he expected. Isn't able to get it through. Still being able to just keep on this pressure, though, means that they can take this. Oh, Yopego has set himself up. Casper, the very patient player, tries to pop it over the top. Now there's no hesitation coming out from the Bullies defenders, though, as they come back and try and take this. And still, the team passing plays, attempts coming out from MLGC, not being able to find anything on it just yet. Yopego doesn't get a great hit. Gets bullied out with the 50-50 from Bullies. Eugen now slowing it down, turns it around. He's got an opportunity to make something work here. Yopego has to do some aerial rotations to get back into this. And still, Bullies holding control of this ball and making another attempt.
Ooh.
Original gets the shot, and the backwards backpedaling from Casper, not able to deflect this out.
Unable to deflect it out. Momentum just not on Casper's side, trying to come up with the defensive play there in the last second. It's a Nelson in terms of 1-1-1 on the score time. And right now, 4-1 in favor of Bullies. If you're superstitious, this is the moment for you to be able to raise one leg for MLGC, but it's not going to be good enough. And just like that, it's another goal going in favor of the Bullies.
I cannot believe we're going to see 2 reverse sweeps in a row. Of course, when it's a 2-1, it's always an opportunity, but when it comes to definitive plays, Bullies are holding steady here. They shook off that first game and they did not let a 5-0 goal line. Yopego not being able to find as much purchase in this game as he did in the first round, and maybe just too much reliance from MLGC on those dual plays coming through here. Still, Yopego wants to fight this out. He does not want to go through to the risk of coming home with nothing. I mean, they're still going to have to face across Mother and Zebra. That's not a 3rd, 4th place game that you want to be taking. That's what could have possibly been the repeat of a grand finals in the past. And yet it's what's going to have to come out as your consolation prize. As it looks like Bullies securing themselves a space in that grand finals, guaranteeing themselves at least 3,000 Rand.
That's good money to be had in the back pocket for right now. Original tries to dribble this one forward. It's all about the style points with the last 20 seconds left on the clock. And as you rightly pointed out, Bullies look to secure themselves the grand final slot, where they will be going up head-to-head up against TSG. That's To Die For and Skull G. However, I'm just as excited for the 3rd and 4th place matchup, where it's going to be DSW, that's Zebra and Mother, taking on MLGC Atomic. Now we wait for the ball to drop and for ourselves to be able to afford the opportunity to catch our breath, as it is going to be Bullies that take the step forward, closer to grabbing it all in that grand finals. Wow, what a match that was. And Mike, from your side of things, I mean, we've been treated to 2-1s, reverse sweeps, time and time again. Is this the way that you saw it going?
Oh man, no way. I was still pulled in that old school, old guard mentality of, these are the guys I know very well. I've heard of them coming through here. Still had a little bit of just misnomers about this people like Eugen, who's come through from lower ranks over the years and just consistently kept climbing there. And so I underestimated the skill of these guys, the ability to just temper themselves and go, right, what do we need to do to win this match? Can we reverse this momentum? And considering the first matches went the way of what you would expect the two teams to win, they came through with dominating performances. And the underdogs in both of the semifinals went, No, we got this, guys. Don't worry. We're just making this a little bit more entertaining, and the entertainment value that's come out of it has blown me away, and I'm sure that the chat is going to agree with that.
100%. If anything, the underdogs came biting here today and have gnawed their way into the grand final positions. We're going to cross over to our third and fourth match in just a second after a very short second, where, to be honest, Mike and I need to catch not only our voices, but our minds after that mind-blowing game 1 and 2. We'll catch you all in a bit.
You finally upgraded your life to fiber, and you're downloading and streaming like a pro. Great job keeping up with the Janssens. But you're probably just on the tip of the iceberg, and we're here to tell you that fiber isn't just a faster new line speed, it's a whole new world. In this world, you monitor whatever you like, protect the things you love, and achieve a lot more. And isn't that what you'd expect from South Africa's most holistic ISP? Our home, our castle, all the things we value and have worked so hard for are safely nestled within its walls. We do everything we can to protect those things physically: locks, intrusion detection, alarms, high walls, and gates. But are we doing enough digitally? We would like to help you do more. Every device that allows us to work and play from home, laptops, phones, tablets, is a doorway to education, enlightenment, and entertainment. But those doors swing both ways, and predators, scammers, and malware all have 24-hour access to our lives through them. We can help you put the locks back on all the doors. Why not let us enable your own family VPN while we're at it? This will send critical data, emails, and messages through an encrypted, safe private tunnel, so you can be sure no one's listening in. Know where the kids are? Know what they're looking at online and for how long? We can help you with all of these with device location trackers, customizable content filters, and screen time limiters, all controlled by you, the sensible adult. Unwelcome intrusion, activity trackers, spyware, and even webcam spies. Happens much more often than you think, with devastating and embarrassing consequences. With intrusion and spy detection, we can make sure it doesn't happen to you. That site you're about to give your credit card details to, are you sure it's the right one? Super sure? We can ensure your browsers are protected browsers with check site legitimacy and use bank-grade encryption to protect transactions and personal details. Smart, safe passwords are essential, and we can help manage those, recommend stronger, less guessable ones, and remember them for you. Security, privacy, safety, and simplicity. These are the end results of Vox Total Home Security Solution. It's easy, and for a family of 5, it's the price of a small pizza. It's a dangerous world out there. We know it, and so do you. So we'd like to help you make sure it stays out there, so everything in here stays happy, healthy, and harm-free. Fiber. Fiber is the way we watch HD movies without the buffering, game without the lag, work without the office, and download pretty much whatever we want. It's how we get smart homes, safe spaces, and smooth calling. It's how we live our best lives. Fiber is a whole new world. It's fast, really fast, and it can grow as your needs do. Check if your area is covered, and let us open up that door for you.
Hey there, everybody, and welcome back to that action. It is, of course, the Vox 10,000 Rand Cash Cup for Rocket League, and it's all about duos, and my duo here today is none other than Mike Alturazamuda. How are you doing, Mike?
Oh, man, I don't even think action is a fair word anymore. I think we need to start increasing it. We need to call this the Vox that is coming through today or something like that, because I have not seen this level of Rocket League before. I have not seen this level of competition, the pace that's coming through here, the mechanics that are coming through here. Action just is not cutting it for what we've gotten to see and what we still have to do here now in the 3rd and 4th place playoffs. And then, of course, after that, we still have a grand finals, and I'm already, my heart is pounding.
Yeah, at the moment, this has been a non-stop adrenaline-fueled action, and when it comes down to the heart, problems that I might face after this, I'm with you in that very same boat. Hopefully, we can just rest up after this one, because it has been that entertaining. I'm not going to lie, the skill in Rocket League is, in the local community, phenomenal. I mean, the tricks, the plays, the aerials that we've seen today are nothing short of top 5 international material. And I'm not even joking when it comes down to that. It's some of the plays that I go, oh, how did that international player pull that off? Those took place here today. Those crazy moments where we just see, oh my gosh, how did you do that? I'm stunned. I'm not going to lie. I'm stunned when it comes down to the local level of play at the moment. And it's fantastic to be able to see. And I'm sure we'll keep this action going. But without further delay, we do need to be able to get into our next game. And that game is none other than DSW taking on MLGC. And this is going to be another nail-biter, isn't it, Mike?
Oh, 100%. You know, I expected both of these teams. They were my favorite in the first round, and I'm starting to doubt myself. This is why I'm a play-by-play caster, not an analyst. An analyst? Yeah, that's the word. Because these guys are people who've proven themselves time and time again as dominant. Of course, we see people like Mother who haven't played in a couple of months. That slight difference in mechanical skill and muscle memory is proving to be all that it takes to separate off an amazing team from a godlike team who's been able to qualify for that finals. This one, though, there is a lot up for grabs. I mean, we talked about how heartbreaking it would be to come in 4th place and not get anything. The winner of this match manages to secure 2,000 Rand. So a lot to play for, even here, just in the 3rd, 4th playoff.
So much to play for. And I think that sets the scene for this game more than any other, is that on the one hand, you've made it here to the final day, but you're staring at the 3rd and 4th place playoff, and that means that if you're 3rd, you're getting 2,000 Rand. Fantastic. Between 2 players, $1,000 each. What a prize to be able to just play with. Also, duo. You don't have to split it with a 3rd player. That's the best part about it. And now, however, on the other side of that coin, 4th place, nada. Nothing. You walk home with, yes, you can watch yourself on stream in the post-VOD. Make sure you hit like and subscribe, ladies and gentlemen. But essentially, that's the line of where this competition is at. And I think that adds a little bit more pressure, even more than so the finals. I mean, you're chilling. You're just sitting back. You've got a prize pool in the back pocket if you made it into the finals. Right now, one of these teams is going to get nothing. And that sets the tone, I think.
Oh, yeah. And you know, I think it's all it's going to serve to do is heighten the awareness of these guys. All of them, very experienced players, have got that big match temperament that they need to be able to pull off something on a match day. But now you're sitting going, hang on, this is more than a prize pool for 3rd place than we've seen in a year kind of thing. We really want this cash. You know, it's no longer just the pride playing for this as we go into our first game between these two. It is a game, as far as I know, a best of 3. And so just 15 minutes going to separate the winners from the losers, or at least the prize pool takers from the people who go home with nothing.
Yeah, and once again, I think it's one of those things that we almost think it's natural that it's going to be 15 minutes. It by all means can be 10. listen to me being the math specialist now, Mike. Right now, it is going to be a potential of either way, but if anything, we know as soon as we try to predict something, the opposite seems to happen. And as it looks, it is going to be this DSW team on the defensive side. And when it comes down to game number one, Mike, you mentioned it's all about feeling each other out.
I've got to ask you at this stage.
Yeah.
Oh, well, no, let's get to that later. Yopego was the vicious player in the first game in their first semifinals. They ended up winning that first game and then losing the next two. But Yopego picked up 5 goals there, and now he manages to read it off DSW not making a good enough clear. Okay, so the question I was going to ask is, would you feel good about winning the first of the best of 3? Now Zebra going to be taking this, they're turning around. Every time I ask this question, it just seems to turn around and get a goal. So I'm going to keep asking that question until eventually we're seeing a 10-all draw or something like that. But
it's the commentators first, but the more you commentate, the more they score. So it's a little bit of a mix of the two.
I'm just here to bring you guys action. I'm here to engender these guys and inspire them to keep scoring goals. So every time I open my mouth, there's a goal. As we set up another one here, this really could carry on with the streak. Mother gonna read it off the backboard. This time Yopego gonna shut it down and give me an opportunity to not be the curse of infinite goals, I guess. That would be a great game.
I think I got the gist of it. At the point in time, where are you happy to actually win game number one, considering where this tournament is going? Is that correct?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to open yourself up for the opportunity of reverse sweeps, which has dominated the day so far?
At this point in time, I think winning game number one just might be the curse. Like, if you win, it's like a half-hearted celebration. It's like, yeah, we did it, but you realize we're pretty much taking ourselves out of the competition at this point.
Oh, man. But, you know, the actual normal psychology for most people when you're not sitting at a day of multiple reverse sweeps is that first game in a best of 3 means that you just have to do one more. It takes that opportunity off you. You're no longer worried about it. And here's an opportunity. Still, Zebra going to be putting in pressure there. We Casper up to the task, being able to turn that around. Now, Yopego, our goal-scoring champion so far on the streams for this day, not being able to get anything out, but turning the pressure on. Both of these teams looking for opportunities. Mother going to be popping it up, not a clean hit, so Yopego going to be able to meet it in the air, but both teams turning it the long way around the field and being able to put on offensive opportunities in a moment's notice.
Definitely that. And right now, I mean, if they want to set the tone of how exactly to take on game number one, just draw. Just keep it as a tie, because to be honest, that's unprecedented too at this point in time. As we cross over to Casper, tries to get that one in. Unfortunately, another goal line clearance is going to come in here, and maybe fortunately, if you are a DSW supporter, but now it's going to be MLGC on the counter attack. Casper with a little bit of juggling without any boost. It's still all too much back and forth.
These guys are wanting to pull the trigger, and they're getting closer and closer. I mean, how many more of the uprights, crossbars, woodworks do you want to hit onto this? This is going to pop down quite dangerously. Mother is up for it, and being a twos competition, you don't really want to throw a person in. We have, of course, seen some great turnaround plays when it does start trickling out into the open there. Zebra doesn't have a lot of opportunity to work with here. He's managed to pick up that 100 boost and instead leaves it towards Mother. Not the cleanest hit. You know, that little bit of muscle memory is differentiating between hitting it on your tires and hitting it on a corner of the car to get the extra bit of power. Now Casper are not going to make a mistake though, and the clear is not there. Casper pushes it as hard as he could into the back line and finds that extra goal to get a 1-goal lead here.
With 94 seconds left on the clock, wink wink, you know that we've got a game on our hands, as it's going to be DSW with it all to be able to do, as they've gone 1 goal down, but at the moment the curse still lives in the favor of MLGC. It's game number one just feels really weird to cast at this point in time.
I cannot actually read out of this though if it's going to work for, because there we go, Zebra turning around. Neither of these teams wants to drop the first game. Curse or not aside, neither one wants to go down, and a great quick up by Zebra manages to push it over the top. Well placed, just under that crossbar, makes it difficult to defend against, and we've leveled it out.
Have leveled it out, and right now 2 apiece. Oh, Mother off the gates, and it's going to be good news that Yopego is on the line. As Casper tries to retaliate here, works this one through the middle. It's going to be chipped up dangerously across the mid box, but nobody's going to be able to challenge from an MLGC side. Mother comes up with a fantastic clearance and works his way up, allows Zebra to be able to get the aerial in. However, It's all a bit scrappy as this one gets put on top of the MLGC goal box just to get cleared out.
And you know, there's not the same air dribbles that we've been seeing dominating, and that created such good opportunities in those for the winners of both of our semifinals. You know, relying heavily on that. Now it's coming down to the team play, the mentality from these guys. Obviously, all of them a little bit more used to playing threes, but still being able to make things work. This is going to roll down towards MLGC, and they're going to have to make a good clear. Does a decent attempt at it so far. Second attempt a little bit better, and now they're being able to find a bit of a chink in the back there. We talk about how many times that chink is coming out today, and each one of them could prove the difference, especially as we go into the last 20 seconds. Next goal is going to win this. Are we even going to see our first overtime in the streams today?
Yeah, maybe, but it does look like it'll get pipped in towards the top. Casper nips that one in with 8 seconds remaining. MLGC now one step closer to securing that prize pool for third and fourth place playoff.
That was huge. Yopego just saw that Zebra was sitting, waiting for that defensive opportunity. He was in a good enough position that Casper was probably not going to be able to get it through, and instead decides to go through it, and now it's going to trickle down. No turnaround goals, no last second buzzer beaters. Instead, MLGC dominate the scoreline. It's I wouldn't say it's a true reflection of how close this game would be to win by 2 goals, but MLGC set themselves up for the curse.
100%. They do set themselves up. However, will they be able to break the chains of what is today the Vox Rocket League 2v2 Cup curse? We'll have to wait and see, as that is going to be the first game going in favor of... I do apologize there on the score count. It does look like we ticked that across, but there we go. MLGC taking game number 1, and we are ready essentially for game number 2. Remember, it is a best out of 3 in the third and fourth place playoff. It is $2,000 up for grabs to be able to get 1 here today, but such a nice nail biter to be able to set the tone for that game number 1.
I mean, nail biters have been what we've been all about the whole day. You know, the fact that we've gone to reverse sweeps, gone to a game 3 in every one of them. I would still expect us to go to a game 3, even if it is not going to be a reverse sweep, breaking the curse from DSW. But MLGC, 1 game away. They can smell the money, but they're going to have to watch out for starting plays like this. Mother trying for that follow-up off the kickoff. You said previously in the last game he had an opportunity, and now it's going to be Zebra trying to make an opportunity. This is going to bounce up very dangerously in front, and that could actually turn to something. Mother sticking around long enough though to guide that away from the goals, and it hasn't gone too far just yet from the blue side. Still MLGC looking to make something happen for it. This is going to be a very high play there. Zebra has to make work, but pushes them to the side. Still opens up the opportunity. Casper's there, just DSW never being able to take it away and put some pressure on for themselves.
Fantastic play there from Casper just to be able to chip this one off of the side. Mother tries to go for the 50-50. That one he gets pipped to the punch. And it's going to be another kickoff that they're going to have to try reevaluate their performance here. Is Zebra as well as Mother. And I mean, it's a bit strange. I mean, I think the last competition that I saw from a while ago was Mother as well as Zebra taking the title, or I could be wrong, they came in second place, but such powerhouses in terms of the scene. It's so nice to be able to see how dynamic our South African competitive scene has become.
Oh, 100%. You know, anyone able to take it. And Mother and Zebra have won enough prize pools themselves, obviously just going, yeah, someone else deserves a chance this time. But they would like to still get hold of that 2,000 Rand at the end. And you can see they're trying other different strategies. They have the passing plays going between them and making good attempts at those passing plays. But you've got to worry about the pace coming out from MLGC. They're always onto this. They're not afraid to throw a second man there, even just for a bump or a demo. They want to run these things together, and as every minute ticks by with this 1 goal scoreline, it's going to be MLGC working ever closer towards getting that finals. And slow it down again, trickle in underneath the capture. Casper always so intelligent in these plays.
100%. Managed to just chip this one on the left-hand side, gets on the far right-hand side of the ball. Mother once again tries to make his way towards that side, and unfortunately for him, just a little bit of slow off of the break. Currently 2-0 down are the DSW squad, as it's MLGC looking phenomenal in this game number 2. Can they break the curse? That is the question that we have to be asking ourselves at this point in time.
Well, they certainly seem to be doing it. I don't think any of those reverse sweeps had the game going 2-0 towards the side who won that first game. Still an opportunity here. Zebra going to push it towards the side, creating a space for himself. Instead, he's pushed it too far away from himself. Mother has to do some work coming back, and meaning that he, at the extent of his reach, not being able to really secure himself a good pass out towards the center field. He's going to try and do better this time. Still, Yopego gets it past one. Now going to be fighting Zebra in the corner. Doesn't get a second touch. It is going to bounce down, but a good bit of mentality coming out and patience from Wee Casper means that he doesn't have to come through. Zebra not going to be taking this one. Instead, Mother going to be taking the shots to secure that goal.
And you could just see by the way that the MLGC team were backing up. They couldn't get behind in time. I love that little play from Zebra just to put that one up against the bar, say, you know what, you want to make the play for it. His teammate came back just in time. We still have a game on our hands here. It's DSW 1, MLGC 2.
Curse survives. The curse is here. The chance is still there for DSW. Of course, they've got another goal left that they need to get before they can even start escalating onto their side. And they're going to have to worry about these sort of things. Good save from Mother, because that was a powerhouse of a shot coming in from MLGC. Still very adamant in this tournament that they want to carry it all the way through and take home that prize pool. Mother now going to be trickling out at the back. Doesn't have a lot of boost. Has passed it towards Zebra. Zebra going to be able to pick this up. He's got the dribbling skills. He's got all the dribbling skills that he needs. Being able to backflip it around the last defender. And we got a level series.
I love it. It's like the what is that? The Ronaldinho flick? You know, the left to right. It's what you like to see from Zebra. They're being able to change his direction, fool his opposition, and it's tied up at 2 apiece. Mike. The curse is looking real. It is looking so real right now.
I think it's just the intensity of both of these teams.
Yep.
They realize that they want to stay in this. They're going to have to fight out for every second in the map. It's not for every goal, you know. It's not going to be, oh, we need to make one good play. It's about every second has to be calculated. It has to be well thought out. Mother going to be putting a dangerous shot in there, but well defended. That could have even just come off the backboard and left it open for Zebra. Zebra very good in these aerial plays. He's going to try and follow it down under the baseboard. Now Mother going to be coming through over the top, and MLGC starting to get under a lot of pressure. They're constantly having to fight out. Again, Zebra going to be coming through with the shot. There was no one home there, so if he had made it work, he could have actually had an opportunity to get themselves on the lead for the first time in this match. Still, 1:17 left on the clock. Pull out your calculators, ladies and gentlemen. It's just over 70 seconds that we've got on the side here, and neither team looking to give it up just yet.
Absolutely love it at the moment. Oh, what a save there coming on from Yopego, as at the moment it's another relentless attack coming in from this DSW team. And will the MLGC team be able to turn momentum in their favor? At the moment, it's all been defensive. Casper comes up with a shot, but Mother defensively has been absolutely sound.
And again, Mother has an opportunity there. Gets himself out of position now. In fact, gets demoed. It's going to be Wee Casper. He's trickling in front of the goals. He doesn't even need to take the shot. He just slows it all the way down. He's from MLGC Atomic, and just fitting that he's got that goal explosion, the atom spinning around, maybe the plume that causes them to take the 2,000 Rand home.
Okay, so right now, 1 goal is what separates these two teams. 1 round is what separates MLGC from 2,000 Rand in the back pocket. At the moment, Mother trying to reverse this way into the back of the net. They do double their way back towards their own line. This one gets put towards the corner. Zebra now tries to chip it over. 25 seconds is all that remains. Casper trying to defensive. This one goes over the top. It's Mother that gets the goal with 21 seconds to tie it all up.
I cannot believe that Zebra and Mother came out so lucky that that was not in their own goal. Then Zebra comes off the side post, the side wall, to be able to get the second touch on it, uses that as an extra man, then pops it over to Mother in the center. With 21 seconds, we could be on the verge of game 3. We've got a level game here. This could be the difference. 20 seconds is the difference between 2,000 Rand for MLGC, and they could make it work. Where did Zebra go?
What? Where?
Zebra was there. He went for the boost.
No,
he doesn't get the
and
boost,
he didn't even...
and he comes back.
Oh, Zebra. That was painful. I was like expecting Zebra to appear off of my screen somewhere. Now 11 seconds is all that remains. Zebra got a bit greedy there at the last. 8 seconds, as now it is MLGC pushing their way forward. Mother needs to try and get this one off the line. It does look like MLGC are just playing for body count at this point in time. It does keep in play. However, Yopego says, no, And just like that, it's MLGC taking the game number 2 and will take their way forward into the prize pool of 2,000 Rand in cash, earning that third place playoff. But what a third place and fourth place playoff that was, wasn't it, Mike?
Oh, huge. 10 shots for the side there from MLGC, 9 for the side of DSW. Such an high-intensity game, and you could just hear in those last seconds that realization of, that was it. We've lost it. We've given this away. Unfortunately, DSW just going to be going home with nothing. It is a good 2,000 Rand going the way of MLGC. And that wasn't even our finals. You know, that was the intensity. Again, every one of these matches has been nail-biting to the end. I've been gasping every time a goal has been scored.
And right now, ladies and gentlemen, if you've been enjoying the Rocket League action, get ready because the finals are just about to kick off underway. And it's not going to be best out of 3. It is indeed best out of 5, Mike. So that one should be a good one to be able to check out. I want to find out your predictions in the chat. Who do you think it's going to be? Do you think it's going to be TEG or do you think it's going to be Bullies? Either way, I'm sure it's going to be entertaining. We'll catch you after the break.
You finally upgraded your life to fiber, and you're downloading and streaming like a pro. Great job keeping up with the Janssens. But you're probably just on the tip of the iceberg, and we're here to tell you that fiber isn't just a faster new line speed, it's a whole new world. In this world, you monitor whatever you like, protect the things you love, and achieve a lot more. And isn't that what you'd expect from South Africa's most holistic ISP? Our home, our castle, all the things we value and have worked so hard for are safely nestled within its walls. We do everything we can to protect those things physically: locks, intrusion detection, alarms, high walls, and gates. But are we doing enough digitally? We would like to help you do more. Every device that allows us to work and play from home, laptops, phones, tablets, is a doorway to education, enlightenment, and entertainment. But those doors swing both ways, and predators, scammers, and malware all have 24-hour access to our lives through them. We can help you put the locks back on all the doors. Why not let us enable your own family VPN while we're at it? This will send critical data, emails, and messages through an encrypted, safe private tunnel, so you can be sure no one's listening in. Know where the kids are? Know what they're looking at online and for how long? We can help you with all of these with device location trackers, customizable content filters, and screen time limiters, all controlled by you, the sensible adult. Unwelcome intrusion, activity trackers, spyware, and even webcam spies. Happens much more often than you think, with devastating and embarrassing consequences. With intrusion and spy detection, we can make sure it doesn't happen to you. That site you're about to give your credit card details to, are you sure it's the right one? Super sure? We can ensure your browsers are protected browsers with check site legitimacy and use bank-grade encryption to protect transactions and personal details. Smart, safe passwords are essential, and we can help manage those, recommend stronger, less guessable ones, and remember them for you. Security, privacy, safety, and simplicity. These are the end results of Vox Total Home Security Solution. It's easy, and for a family of 5, it's the price of a small pizza. It's a dangerous world out there. We know it, and so do you. So we'd like to help you make sure it stays out there, so everything in here stays happy, healthy, and harm-free. fiber. Fiber is the way we watch HD movies without the buffering, game without the lag, work without the office, and download pretty much whatever we want. It's how we get smart homes, safe spaces, and smooth calling. It's how we live our best lives. Fiber is a whole new world. It's fast, really fast, and it can grow as your needs do. Check if your area is covered, and let us open up that door for you.
Hey, what is up, everybody? And I don't think that was enough time to catch my breath, ladies and gentlemen. It is the Vox 10,000 Rand Rocket League Duo Cup. And Mike, was that enough time for you? Because at the moment, heart is still beating, throat is still dry. What crazy action have we had?
Honestly, I cannot believe that we've only been doing this for an hour and a half, because this has been nonstop action. And, 10 minutes is weird because it's long enough for me to catch my breath, but at the same time, I really desperately want to get into the next game. Like, I have not wanted to stop any of the Rocket League. I'm so glad that our first two semifinals went to game 3, because I just want to keep seeing more of this. The amount of action that we've seen, the amount of plays that we've seen, that it hasn't come down to, a little bit of ping pong table tennis across the field that's just been picked up and then turned into something. One weird play comes out on top of it. It's been nonstop. 10 shots in that, or from one team. That was 19 shots in that last game. I don't know if you want to try and do the maths on that one, but that's far too much action to just go, no, it's fine. We're just going to take a relaxed day. If you guys think this is a casual Saturday afternoon of Rocket League, you are wrong, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, that must have been in total around about 432 shots, right? In terms of my maths count. It's been phenomenal today, but really it has been. I've really thoroughly enjoyed myself, and I'd like to thank each and every one of you for tuning into the stream today. I hope you guys have been enjoying the action as much as Mike and I have. It's obviously all brought to you thanks to Vox for putting up the price, for putting up the action, of course, as well as the ACGL admin team behind the scenes, making sure everything works seamlessly. But now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to get ready for this, the finals. And setting the tone, it is Bullies taking on TEG. Now, both of these teams have had some phenomenal moments. And I kind of brought back to that Skulk reset. What was that? The flip that he managed to score that one goal was absolutely fantastic. And just to be able to see their level of play, is like they're unforgiving. They're relentless in terms of the way that they attack. And I think we're going to be in for good finals.
I think that's the point of why they've been doing so well for now. Bully's obviously a very good team coming through here, being able to take out Meh, a very great team, and then GC Atomic, who came in our third place very recently. Those two teams are arguably, able to take top positions in any tournament. They've knocked out both of them. Now I think is going to be their biggest challenge, simply because TSG was able to dictate the pace so well in the games that they played against DSW. The fact that Skulk G is able to put on an aerial dribble and then Tadafo is there to back it up, and then Skulk G is back in with another shot just after that, means that there's no chance. If you're not able to just get a clean save and start getting your own possession, TSG is going to be on top of you, and they're going to go until they get it in the back of the net.
Yeah, and for right now, I mean, I can't call this. I can't call this. I think I've been super, super impressed, but the thing that still I keep on reverting back to it when it comes down to what has been impressing me is the fact that, dare I say, these are some of the new names to me, at least from my side of things. And I keep on reverting to the high quality of play. We revert back to the very beginning of this tournament where we had 183 registered teams, which is fantastic. And being able to have 136. I remember way back with Mike. We remember way back when we were just like, oh, we've got 8 teams in the tournament. We've got 16 teams in the tournament, and it has been growing. And I think, yes, one of those aspects is that of the opportunity for free-to-play to be opened up across the board. But just the scene overall has been getting some tournaments. They've been growing. They've been sharing their knowledge. And it's fantastic to be able to see this level of play.
Oh yeah, of course. I've been involved in a whole bunch of different games, and whenever I talk to someone, whether they're playing Dota or Overwatch or Counter Strike or whatever their main game is that they play, they also play Rocket League. And it's opened up because of this free to play, and it means that people are starting to play it casually with friends. They go, "Oh, this is actually a lot of fun. Oh, wait, I can do that. Let me try." And they grind for a couple hundred more hours, and they go, "Oh, wait, I had 400 hours, realize I know nothing in the scene." And it gives people such inspiration to keep pulling it out. And you can see in this tournament what dedicated practice is able to do when you're able to start getting these mechanics together. We do have our grand final starting. It is a best of 5, TEG versus Bullies, and this I would like to see if Chad is more confident than I am. I would say probably TEG a little bit more favored here.
Yeah.
But it's up to see if Bullies can turn around pressure. If they can stop TEG from dictating the pace of the game, then Bully is certainly able to make any counterattacks, and especially when Eugen keeps coming flying in over the top. It's a good opportunity.
Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, big breath in, big breath out. It is time for the grand finals. And this is going to be for the biggest chunk of change. 8,000 Rand is essentially what is the prize pool between these two teams to be able to split it out. And there is 5,000 Rand first place, 3,000 Rand in second place. Either way, they're going to be ending this with a smile on their face. However, you can't see this one slowing down by any means. You can see both teams at the moment just being able to get a feel. A couple of shots get put in. If anything, the early pressure being put in here by TEG.
Oh yeah, 100%. That is what we kind of expect. TEG loves playing this hyper-aggressive style, but has to be worried about the counter-attack possibilities coming out from Bullies. You look at the fact that Original on the leaderboards from the Rocket League tracker, Original sitting 6th best in the country and backed up against someone like Skulk G, who's coming through here, and he was dominating. He scored so many goals in that semi-finals, just hanging around super high there, putting on the aggressive plays, and he's able to open up our score bank a minute and a half in.
Yeah, and at the moment when it comes down to what the Bullies have done, I mean, Eugen kind of stuck on his line there, and Skulk just being the poacher that he is, making sure that he makes use of every single opportunity and puts that one in. Now, Eugen on the left-hand side will be able to put this one into the corner, tries to make room for his teammates. However, there's going to be no bites coming in there from Original, as it's going to be for the first time in this series a good development of attack coming in from the Bullies.
And that's what they need to be able to do, is they need to be able to time their attacks coming in. You can't half-ass something like this into a team like TEG. You've got to be able to come through with a very methodical play where you go, right, we are going to be controlling this entire way, and make sure that they never touch it. You cannot rely on a 50-50 coming out there, or even just like a passing play between your two players, because there's going to be an interception halfway through. And so the aggression coming out from Bullies is doing well so far. They nearly find an opportunity there. Eugen pops it back out towards the center. Unfortunately for him, Original was backed up a little too far to be able to make something of that. Now he's going to have a chance to fix it all the way over, a little bit too hard. In fact, Eugen not able to get up to that, but Eugen's not out of it just yet. He gets up, he gets the pass towards the center, and Original is there.
Lovely play, the pass across, and can I tell you one thing that I really like about Bullies? And it might sound even almost ironic, the fact that they don't play necessarily just the ball. They really do play their opposition. They play their positions, they make sure that they bump them out, make them uncomfortable. And I absolutely love to be able to see it from them, tying things up now at one apiece, manage to get through that framework of how are they going to be able to attack the goal, and finally it gets to the back of the net, and it's going to be down to the TEG team to try turn momentum once again into their favor.
And once they get that momentum, you can expect it to come quickly, though. As soon as they get control of it, now they do. We see Skulk on this ball. He's been so powerful with these flicks over the top. Instead, decides to go underneath for this one. And still, Tadafo hanging around there, gets bumped off. You talk about the fact that Bullies are not afraid to get physical in this competition. We see it going there. Still, Skulk's got an opportunity here. Gets such a nice high flick. It gets battered off that high ball, but it's followed up by Tadafo, just sitting in the center there, and all set up by Skulk, beating one with that, beating the second one, making Bullies have to work hard in the defense. And when it's not a perfect clear, it's a goal.
Love that play from Skulk. He just chips it up, flicks it over, hits the back bar, and just then you've got Tadafo to clean it all up. Fantastic play from Skulk so far, it has to be said, and good clinical finishing coming in from To Die For. At the moment, Skulk once again on the attack. He's got a decent amount of boost to be able to work with. This might be yet another goal as they double their lead now with 1 minute 30 seconds left on the clock. Really, really good play coming in from this TEG lineup.
And their original just decided to try and keep contesting in the front line, misjudges the bounce a little bit and gets himself out of the position. And then Skulk goes with full aggression, comes forward and just beats out Eugen a half a millisecond in front of the ball there, and it gives TEG that space. And we said that, you know, as soon as these guys sniff even the smallest opportunity, they're going to be on it. Still, Bullies hanging around here, being aggressive in this blue half, and that's what that aggression will get you. Original for finding a second goal of the game, also just as high as the first one.
They're not stopping or slowing down our Bullies. 2 goals down, they say, let's break it into 1. As with 1 minute 15 seconds left on the clock, they managed to get that goal come back relatively quickly. Now the pressure, the question marks do get raised. When it's coming down from a TEG, will they play this defensively? Will they keep on going through the offensive? Because that leaves them open to a counter. At the moment, it's Skulk once again standing true, standing tall and saying, you know what, let's go offensive.
Yeah, you don't want to sit on your laurels at any stage. 1 goal is not enough, and Skulk just cutting across the field there, just keeping up that pace for his side means that he can start pushing through. And again, Skulk just leading the charge always with these goals. Even if he's not getting himself, he's making so much work for the Bullies that it's either him or To Die For who's going to be coming through, and you better hope from the Bullies side at least that you're going to be doing something with it. They've still got a bit of time here, especially if they can get a goal in the next 30 seconds or so. They've got an opportunity to level this out, but against TSG, who's going to keep launching this attack, there goes that flip reset attempt by Skulk G, not able to pick enough up on it, but he's hanging around. He's still being this consistent, persistent threat.
100%, and at the moment it seems like the strategy coming in from Bullies is like, you know what, if Skulk is off of the ball and he's just made an attack, and with our boost, that's our big option to be able to try push forward, because he has just been absolutely phenomenal. Eugen now on the right-hand side will try to flick this one in, does put it towards the corner, but Skulk is there yet again to shut down the door, and it does look like this game number 1 more than likely going to be going in favor of TEG.
Yeah, just a couple of seconds left, and Bullies taking slightly longer on their attacking opportunities. They have to build up a little bit more pressure when it comes into it, and you know, that first shot not going the way of them any of the time so far. It's instead been, you know, a couple of passing plays, break down the TEG defense a little bit more methodically, but TEG just coming through with too many goals to be able to catch up to at the end of that, and first game of our best of 5 goes the way of the blue side.
Yeah, and that is none other than this TEG. And Skulk, once again, 3 goals, 1 assist in the back pocket. Phenomenal performance from him. And ladies and gentlemen, once again, if you're just joining us, this is the grand finals of the Vox 2v2 Rocket League Cup. And so far, TEG standing true as the team to beat. However, going into this game number 2, it is a best out of 5. So this one is far from over. Mike, we're jumping in, of course, into our very next game. So, Bullies, from their side of things, do you think that they should change anything up?
No, I wouldn't change too much. You know, they're here for a reason. Even if you just end up with the 3,000 rand at the end of the day, it comes down to slight executional differences. Maybe giving the ball away a little bit too much, might want to slow it down, but that's the difference here. Oh, that bounce was just impossible to read To Die For. Gonna not need Skulk on this one, just goes up for it, and as the ball comes down, he's there to chip it up and over. And he slowed it down so much, he actually baited out that early jump from Bullies and left them standing.
Yeah, that play actually is so underrated in terms of how well he did there. Slows it down, gets underneath, chips it over at the last second just to change the direction. Oh, a pip in from Eugen from far. Now it's going to be Original trying to rise up to the challenge, Eugen as well as Skulk. And Eugen's going to be comfortable just taking away a little bit of boost. Skulk has gone off into the top left-hand side, but it does look like Original is back on defense. This one gets chipped over the top. Eugen needs to be able to reply and gets it off at the back of the line. Eugen doing some phenomenal work here as he chips it over the top to make it 1-1. Eugen, absolute rock star.
Again, these teams just able to turn that momentum around so quickly, jumps up over the top there, then plays the physical plays. Again, that dominates the Bullies style and knocks the last defender out. He goes, I need to get the ball there, but I don't need to do it just yet. I can take care of the person. I don't need to beat them by mechanical skill. I just need to make sure that they're not there. They're not in a position to make a play. And then makes a very easy goal after that. A really nice heads-up play coming out there from Bullies, and now it's Eugen coming out there over the top. He's managed to beat one. He forces it hard through the second and finds the bottom left-hand corner.
This man, what an absolute performance coming in from Eugen. Just seemingly solo taking on the squad of I almost called them MLGC. It's TEG and just standing true. Bullies now with the lead for the first time in this game number 2.
Oh, I love that. And that's not the first time we've seen Eugen pulling off a similar style. He doesn't need to beat them completely and comprehensively. Instead, he just needs to pull it through the back line. Now he's got a bit of pace on his line, and again, just going for that physical play. He's going to pop up high into the air. It's going to have to be a good clear coming out here for Tadafo. Doesn't manage to get a huge amount on it, and in fact, leaves it skittering back towards his own goal. Thankfully for him, a little bit wide, and Skulkji going to slow it down, chips it over one, but gets knocked out of the way. Now it's up to Original to do the work, but he's been there and he just holds it out.
That was really good play, being able to call out that moment coming in from Skulk, and Original on the defensive side of things makes the correct call. Despite getting demoed, will be able to make the save, and has a little bit of a taste back. However, to die for Skulk with the pass to the right hand side, and to die for wide open. Or rather, vice versa.
Vice versa, and Tadafo did well there, and you can see Skulk was actually at the absolute limits. He had to pre-flip that. Most people save that flip as they get to the ball, and they end up hitting it weirdly off their car. There he just throws himself, and as he lands almost back on his wheels, tries for it. This time Skulk got to go on the backboard. He's got the read on that second touch, but doesn't get past the defenders. Now it's up. Eugen got to float it into the air, and Tadafo has to make a difficult save, and the pressure starts building again on TEG. 2-2 is the scoreline. It could not be that for long. In fact, it's not going to be for long at all. It's going to go up to 3-2 for TEG just after, again, Skulk just so comfortable in the air to carry it over the last defender.
I mean, fantastic from TEG to be able to turn this one around. I mean, when you're staring down, losing your lead, and just shows that big match temperament that we kept on talking about. I mean, fantastic performance from them thus far, and showing themselves as one of, if not the best 2v2 team potentially in South Africa at the moment. However, Bullies right back into it. It is WoW is the correct clan tag there to be able to use Original, because WoW being able to come out with this one to be able to tie it all up.
Man, and again, aggression from Bullies on the wall there, bumps out the person who had themselves set up, and then poor Tadafo just sitting on the ground going, I'm not in position for this, tries to make an attempt for it, and the aggression from Bullies just means that they've got the players there sitting, waiting for this opportunity, and still, you see Original and Eugen sit so high up. They respect the fact that people like Skulk and Tadafo can make opportunities out of nothing and carry it the whole way down the field, but going, you know what, you're going to have to work for it. We're going to stick around, and if you make a mistake like that, we're going to be there.
Here we go. Here's Original from up high. Tries to put that one towards the top right-hand corner. However, now it's a counter-attacking opportunity, and just like that, it's another goal for Skulk. He makes it 3 for his total tally, and it's TEG back in the lead with 2 minutes and 9 seconds left on the clock.
That's your problem, is that that aggression can turn around and bite you. It's up to who makes the first mistake. If you're aggressive and the defending team makes a mistake, you are in position to be able to get that. However, if you try for the offensive, you try for that opportunity and it doesn't work out, you're going to be sitting high and dry and leaving an open net for your opponents. And so far, it's worked out half of the time, and that hence the very level scoreline that we've got. But still, TEG, you're going to be quite happy with this, especially with that game in the bag.
Yeah, and this is fantastic from Eugen. Ooh, tries to dribble past 2, only gets past the 1. At the moment, it's Original challenging from up high. Will his teammate be there? It doesn't look like Eugen's going to be able to make it in time. At the moment, the pressure is on the Bullies. They definitely don't want to go down 2-0. Yes, the reverse sweep is always an option, especially in this series. However, that is asking a lot going up against this TEG line.
And now it's the opportunity. Tadafo going to go back, leaving it open for Skulk. Skulk is there, and as it goes down towards that orange goals, Eugen just carries it away, holding that position. And that's what I wanted to see. Instead, he's the one going to be the victim of a bit of aggressive play. And again, Skulk finds that needle, threads it now underneath his opponents, and the opportunities here. Tadafo going to have to do some work, tries to run it down the field, and Eugen cuts him off at the pass. Still, to die for wants to carry this into the back of the net. Goes for the second touch, tries to bounce it awkwardly off the ground, but ends up getting himself out of position. Original coming through quickly, but not going to be able to make too much out of this one. And it just trickles back and forth. These guys understand when that opportunity is presenting itself and then take it full advantage of it.
100%. Now the ball being dribbled by TEG towards their own line. 30 seconds left on the clock. Original's going to have to challenge, and this is where it gets a bit risky for the Bullies, but they're going to have to put their risk and try calculate it effectively to put this ball in the back of the net. At the moment, it gets chipped over the top. 18 seconds is all that remains.
18 seconds is not a lot of time when you have to have these methodical build-up plays, and you could see the attempt was there, and that's going to put the nail in the coffin. Skulkji, yet again, coming through with the fact that he is so comfortable in the air, just chips it up and over, doesn't even need to carry this one, identifies that arc into the back of the net, and follows it with pinpoint precision.
All right, so Bullies with 11 seconds on the clock. It's going to be optimistic if you're a betting person, but at the moment it's Eugen that rises up high. It's going to be to die for with the retaliation in terms of defense. And this should be game number 2 going in favor of TEG for the grand finals. So fantastic performance from them thus far. I mean, really coming into the grand finals looking very, very solid. And when it comes down to score count alone, so many shots on the board. I think in total, oh my gosh, am I really going to do this to myself? 6-12, and we've got 15 shots, Mike. 15 shots in total.
Did you say 6 plus 12 is 15?
No. 6 plus 3 plus 5 plus 1.
There we go. Okay,
There
we're getting a lot of shots, and that's what's dictated the point, and that's pretty reflective of twos competitions in general. So the pace from both sides coming out, they're putting in the opportunities that they need to work, but TSG just being able to be a little bit more controlled in that. They're able to not just put a random shot at goals. They're able to carry it through and make that structured play, beat one player and then go for the 1v1, or the air dribble into a very difficult save, which then becomes a goal. TSG setting it up, and we did break the curse there in that 3rd and 4th place playoff. The curse of the reverse sweeps, of course. Still, I think that Bullies have the potential to be able to do this. Not if they start off like this. Oh, that was close.
Yeah, very, very close off of the break. And as you rightly pointed out, Bullies, definitely a team that you need to be able to keep an eye out for. I definitely wouldn't rule them out, especially considering how things have gone in the past. At the moment, however, it is TEG that is one step away from taking this finals as a 3-0, which would be fantastic for them. However, I'm sure Bullies don't want to be able to give up any stopgap to allow their opposition to be able to make it this season.
Oh, I wouldn't want to see this go to a 3-0, not because I don't think TEG is deserving of such a comprehensive victory, but just, again, I like to see this Rocket League. This is what I'm here for. This is my Saturday, and I want to see this go all the way to the end, because I believe Bullies has it in their tanks to be able to do this, and I at least want to see the one game for them to be able to go, yeah, we deserve to be in this finals. All credits to TEG. Fantastic team, playing flawlessly from their side, but there are always opportunities that can be made for a team like Bullies.
100%, and at the moment when it comes down to what Bullies need to be able to do, they need to win 3 games, full games that is, in a row. It is no easy task, but at the moment it's Original dribbling this one forward. We'll put it towards the corner. Eugen comes up with a demo to say, no way, Jose, you're not going to be able to defend your own line. And I've got to love this play. He just waits for the demo to be able to come in. Boom, takes him out and put it into the bottom right-hand corner.
As to die for, how do you even plan against that? You're sitting there going, I'm in the exact right position. I know I've got this ball covered. And then as the shot gets taken, it goes, right, I know I've got this. Starts accelerating forwards, and then suddenly there's a puff of smoke and a goal against you. How do you plan against that?
You don't take any plans. You just take precautions at this point in time. You've got to watch out for the demos. And really well synced. And that's what we mentioned with Bullies a little bit earlier on. They don't just play the ball, they play the players. And that's what we like to be able to see.
You know, different strategy and an effective one so far that's carried them all the way here to the grand finals. They've opened up the first goal that they need to. So incremental steps towards taking home that finals. But they've let it go now to die for, just rolling it up nicely on the wall and taking it such a nice high shot, such a nice quick shot. And Bullies' aggression, where they like to hang forwards to capitalize on mistake, again proves detrimental towards their own scoreline.
Detrimental indeed, and right now it's TEG aren't going to let this one up. There's no free games to be able to get one here when there's essentially 8,000 Rand in between just these games alone. Skulk G rises up high and puts his side of the vehicle towards the ball and puts it over the top. Original left to just spectate as the ball rises up high.
You know, I am surprised to see that as our first kickoff goal on stream today. Normally, you're going to get those obviously more prevalent in ones, but in twos, still there. You get one of the players out off the kickoff, and then the second one is just a simple touch and makes it work here. So, TEG really want to shut this down. They want a 3-0. They want to go, we're here, we're the best by far.
100%, and at the moment they want to be able to spread that message far and wide, but it's Bullies that need to be able to hold on and try get themselves this W. Ooh, it gets put in dangerously towards the net. However, Eugen might have an opportunity to chip this one over. Great defense, the double save coming in.
A little bit more pace, a slightly better position on that shot, and it would have definitely been in. Eugen had all the opportunity in the world, but it's not the only opportunity that they've got. They need to respect how good this defense from TEG is coming out, and I think that they've had such a good taste of it today. The fact that TEG has been so strong on that. This could be a rare lapse in it, though. Ooh. Bounces harmlessly off the side, and Skulkji breathes a sigh, realizing he was out of position. And the capitalization came out from Buddy. Still, they love this off the backboard. Original does not miss this. Has proven again and again, one more time now, that he can read it high in the air and get a good solid shot into the backboard.
What you love to see at the moment, Original, is the player that comes up with the shot to be able to clean it up. Tied up. It is 2 apiece with 2 minutes and 2 seconds left on the clock. At the moment, Original has to dart towards his own net. Will put this one up high, gets himself the boost, and now ready for the attack.
And you can see the difference in the air dribble quality coming out from Bullies, and the mechanical prowess from TEG is what's gotten them these 2 games so far. The fact that they can take the ball from any position, put it into any position, and make an opportunity there. It was a chance for Bullies, and now a long shot comes down. Skulk doesn't have a lot of boost, but is able to deflect it towards the side and pick up 100 boost of his own. A good pinch for him. Means that it pushes down towards the orange goals, and still TEG looking to put on pressure. The passing play comes out there a little bit out of the reach of Tudafo, and Bullies looking to turn it around. That counter-attack again, so pivotal in their game plan.
Absolutely, counter-attack is key at the moment. Tudafo raises up high. Oh, this one gets chipped dangerously by Eugen, who tried to bump from behind. At the moment, it's Skull G that tries to raise his way up. However, Original has his teammate on his left-hand side. However, will dart towards the right-hand side to Tudafo with some fantastic defensive play.
Obviously looking for the chip there, and that could have been pivotal for them. They would have really liked that opportunity there, especially with the minute left on the clock. 1 goal could be the difference here, and I think that might be all we get as we count down the clock. It's the difference here of 2,000 Rand. Original in trouble now in front of his own goals, flailing with no more boost, and you do see Tudafo trying to make that work. He nearly had the angle there, but still Bullies survived to carry on going with their own opportunity.
Yeah, Original now down the left-hand side. This is an opportunity for Bullies. We'll be able to put this one up high. It's going to be defensive play coming in from Tadai for Skulk G. Both of them seemingly tied up at the back. It's Eugen once again trying to go for the aggressive play, leaving it all to do for Original on the back line. Skulk G trying to push his way forward. Not enough boost in Original's bank account at the moment, as it's going to be Skulk trying to double his way back. 13 seconds left on the clock. Tadai can still get this one on the hands.
Or nearly tries it, and we could actually be seeing our first overtime here unless Tudafo can make something happen. What a player who can make it. Skulk. He gets it towards Skulk in the center. 3 seconds left, and we could just see TEG being crowned our champions.
Oh my gosh, Skulk coming through at the last. He has been clinical in the past. He is so yet again to be able to come up with a finish. The boost gets removed from the Bullies, and right now with 3 seconds, 2, 1. Will it be another goal going in the back pocket? Ladies and gentlemen, you have your champions. It is none other than TEG that will be taking the title of the Vox 2v2 Rocket League Cup.
Oh man, what a team to do it. These guys looked powerful in every aspect. If you know of a mechanic, I think the only one we didn't really see was a musty flick coming out here between these two teams. Somehow Skulk coming through with every possible opportunity. He goes, right, you can defend 8 out of my 10 different attempts. I've still got 2 in the bag that I can pull out at any stage, just reading the situations perfectly between the 2 of them. They had the passing plays, they had the redirects, they had their backboard reads. They got everything that they needed to, and taking a very comprehensive 3-0 victory at the end is such a testament to the power of this team esports gaming. What a team to take your victory, and well deserved for that extra 5,000 rand.
100%. What a statement to be able to make in the finals as well. You know, we've had such close games, 2-1, 2-1, and it kept on going that way, seemingly for the entire series. And right at the end here, when it comes down to best out of 5, they make a statement. We're winning 3 games in a row. Fantastic performance to die for, as well as Skulk. Gotta say, phenomenal play. And it's what we love to be able to see. New talent rising to the top, and at the moment, walk home with 5,000 Rand in cash. That's 2,500 bucks each. Not a bad way to be able to spend your Rocket League time.
I wonder if they're going to split that with Arceon, going, you know, you helped us through the rest of this tournament to get here, but on the day that it counted, the day where all the prize pool was up for grabs, it was Skulk G and to die for. And personally, I would have to say that Skulk G came through as my man of the match, man of the series, man
100%.
of the day, with the plays consistently, always relying on his mechanical skills to be able to break and just even get past one person, get past 1.5 people. You know, you get the chip over the first one, then go for the 50 on the second one, and then give the opportunity to die for, to be able to finish that off. And what a way for that team to be able to come through with the decisiveness. Really, I think there's no other way to say it, but a 3-0 victory, even when it comes down to 1 goal difference in the final seconds, it's still, we didn't even get an overtime here, which is surprising.
I mean, I've got to reiterate that statement when it comes down to what I would dub the player of the tournament, Skulk. I mean, some fantastic moments, and nothing to take away from To Die For, who has also been phenomenal throughout this series. But Skulk, in terms of some of those moments, I'm sure we're going to be clipping that on stream afterwards and posting those to the socials, because some fantastic Rocket League. Ladies and gentlemen, it really came down to it. It was a 256 player bracket, then 136 teams that managed to make their way in and actually playing, all the way down to this final moment where it was none other than the Team Esports Gaming being able to take down Bullies. But fantastic Rocket League throughout. It's what we love to be able to see from a local scene. And once again, just to reiterate, I want to say thank you to each and every single one of you tuning in here today. A big thanks, of course, Mike, as always, being able to join on the commentary side of things. Big love for Mike in chat, ladies and gentlemen. Such a pleasure to be able to commentate alongside you.
Oh, of course. This is what I do. This is just the amount of excitement I get to do this. I'm just the one who's talking while watching this. I'm sure you guys felt just as much as excitement as I do. I love commentating in general, but when it comes to South African Rocket League, it holds a very special place in my heart. And this is why, is just getting to see the level of it. I'm here not to criticize these guys. And, you know, we always analyze strategies and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it comes down to what made the difference between 2 incredible teams, between the 4 incredible teams that we saw today. Very slight differences, couple of tiny mistakes that are always going to pop up here and there in any scene. And the number of mistakes are starting to dwindle, and the number of big plays to force goals to happen are starting to increase. And it just brings me such pleasure to see.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think I've got to reiterate that. So, such close games, such tight margins between these players. And this all, once again, would not be possible. Thank you, Vox, for making sure that you're jumping into the communities, give them some support with some fantastic prize pools. You love to be able to see it. And I've got to say, behind the scenes, well done to the ACGL team for making sure that this runs seamlessly from their side of things. Big love to the ACGL fam. From myself, Nick Holden, the ACGL family, from Mike's side of things, I'm sure we'll catch you on the next one. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. We'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.